Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to TraderTV.live. North American stock futures, little change ahead of another inflation reading just out. We got producer price index numbers this morning after the CPI data yesterday. Looks like 7.8% versus 7.3%. We also got initial jobless claims week over week, exactly unchanged. You can see 375 versus 375, but that PPI number a little higher than expected, it would appear at first glance. 7.8% versus 7.3%. You remember yesterday that CPI number lower than expected year over year, but on a month-to-month basis, a little bit higher than expected. Overall, though, the market's pretty strong. Yesterday, at the end of the day, we had the Dow back in record high territory along with the S&P. NASDAQ was a little bit of a laggard yesterday. We'll see what happens today with tech stocks. Overall, though, we're looking for a little bit of a bounce back once again this morning for some of those tech stocks. We'll talk a little bit about some earnings coming up this morning. So many to get through. NIO reported, Palantir, obviously. Disney moving around here in the pre-market a little bit. They're going to report after market tonight, so we'll keep an eye on Disney. There's Clover Health. There's Opendoor. Lots to talk about this morning. It's Thursday, August 12th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at how things stand at this point. You can see the Dow 0.6, 0.24 for the S&P, the NASDAQ little changed at this point. If you get down to the bottom of the board there, you can see some positivity around cryptocurrencies once again. Busy morning coming in this morning, guys. We have a lot of earnings to get through. Good morning. It is Thursday, as we said. A busy morning once again. It is Palantir Day. It is NIO Day. We have both Clover Health and Opendoor, guys. What a move for both of those after market yesterday.
Yeah, monster moves. I just appreciate the fact that you're saying NIO so we don't get confused and I think someone's calling my name every time we talk about NIO. Oddly enough, hey, I like that shot. No, the overhead one you had a second ago. Oh, never. There you go. Yeah, it's a little higher up now. There's like kind of an overhead action. That one's a little more across. Anyways, these guys have been working really hard.
This one's not that good.
Cool. No, it's like an across one, and this one's up. I like the up shot. That's pretty cool. Anyways,
up shot is fine. Up shot is fine.
It was kind of down.
This shot is fine. Yeah, that shot, there it is again.
You can tell we're still having fun with our new digs here. Obviously, a lot of earnings to get to, and NIO moving the least of all of these ones that I'm looking at, which is a bit of a surprise, right? Like usually that's like the day trader's dream, but you're looking at Clover 975, that $10 obviously a big one, a big key level there. Someone was not messing around. I thought they were messing around on the bid of Opendoor, but they just really wanted 100,000 shares apparently. So someone bought that at 21s. A lot is going to be moving today. I woke up and thought it was Wednesday, but it is Thursday. So strap in, buckle up, do all those things that you got to do because it's got another wild day today. There's more moving this morning than I feel like any day this week. I could be wrong about that. Monday moved a bit.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, I mean, there's just a lot of good names here, and you're not going to be able to see. Are you guys going to be able to see this? I don't think. Oh, maybe. What I highlighted there, it says swing. It says swing, open, and Clover, right? So we talked about that on the 3 p.m. show yesterday, and we'll talk about how those. I guess that's. What is it? My head. Look at my head. I guess that it's big time movement. We saw them yesterday on the daily chart. We'll talk about the daily chart on Clover and on Opendoor and why we thought that there was a potential for them to get moving today, and it looks like they are. I'm long already some of these names just as little tester positions, but we'll wait to see on Open. I think it's a little bit too much, honestly, for Clover and Opendoor today, up almost 20% each. So we'll see where they fade back into. But right now, Open, Clover, Palantir, Micron, Fisker with a convertible debt offering. We'll talk about that as well. So there's lots on our minds today, guys.
Yeah, Opendoor, keep in mind there's also a couple of upgrades on both of those, actually, Clover and Opendoor today. Opendoor getting some money recently from SoftBank as well. So a lot of positive things going on as far as Opendoor is concerned. Before we go any further, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, guys. It's going to be an exciting day, and I wish you a lot of trading opportunities. Please make sure to like this video, and let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. Just having a look at Some of these other names that have reported this morning, we'll talk a little bit about Disney coming up aftermarket, as I said, tonight. When we have such a wide range of things to keep an eye on today, it's important that we come up with a bit of a plan. But Nikola up this morning on positive news. There's Workhorse, there's Bumble, there's eBay. I mean, where do you guys want to start?
Maybe
Not with any of those.
not with eBay, that's for sure.
That was actually, I haven't even looked at any of those names. Literally none of those.
I will say this: I looked at Bumble yesterday, but that was mostly because I know they reported, but their lockup had also expired. Oh, that's one of my things is still on Clover there. But Bumble had actually the lockup, I should say, had expired, and I'm sort of talking through as my daily chart refuses to load, so we'll go to the 15-minute chart. But I feel like this was like a one and done in the afternoon on Bumble. It made a big move and it faded the entire thing today. So I came in thinking there might be something. And look, there's so much moving here today. Everyone's going to probably have a full list of gappers and movers. That something gets up 1.7% and retraced right back into the middle of this range is going to be kind of boring. If Bumble retests 50, I guess that would be interesting to me. But if I'm looking at a name that I was watching yesterday, I actually might take a quick look at Upstart. And you guys will remember Upstart from yesterday's action. I tried to short that, a couple of times off 168, 170. It's holding right at the top end of the range. So remember that 172? That was a double top in yesterday's action. It remains the double top today, and it just broke back below 170. So that sets up a couple of ways. Obviously, with the double top like that, there's like that rollover potential play there for Upstart. Monster move on earnings, but it had a sharp pullback. It had a sharp pullback at the open before recovering. If it can't break that 172, I mean, I'd expect at least to retest the low 160s on Upstart. And watch out, Clover, that 10 level. I kind of hope that would be a 930 play, but I feel like that's going to test it before we get to the open.
Yeah, I didn't want to discuss. I mean, on our watch list, we have Neo, Palantir, Clover, Open Door, Fisker, Dash, Ride, Orf, and a few other names. So there's lots to talk about there. Bumble should be a good one. I'm already in. I think can you guys see? Yeah. So we're already in Palantir, back to flat, and we're up 2 cents right now on Palantir. We got into this one late, and then Open Door. We're just trying to hold out on that one. So look, I mean, I have Fisker up here, but we can look at eBay as well off of another report by them. They always trade pretty good off earnings. If I can get this to load, you can see here on the daily chart. Not much movement at all, down 1.69%. So like Neil said, still the Fisker chart. There's going to be lots happening here, but eBay only 46,000. That was just a name that you came to us with there, Brendan. So eBay right now not so exciting, but I do have a little bit to say about Palantir. So we can run through the watch list and Palantir. Oh, if you haven't got it, watches.tradertv.live, and then you can also join me on @TraderTV, Sean, Neil, and Brendan, and @TraderTV Live on Twitter, where we have up our sticky notes, where I have a couple notes on Palantir, Clover, Open, Micron. Actually, Micron is going to be one of my favorite stocks to trade today, and we'll talk about why coming up soon.
You read my mind. Let's talk about Micron a little bit. Let's talk about the chip makers. We saw Morgan Stanley yesterday get their red pen out, their downgrade red pen out, and put a little bit of negative pressure. Today they're talking about chip makers, and specifically Micron downgrading the stock and also cutting their price target, suggesting that a general pullback in the chip makers definitely needed, and a slowdown as well as far as manufacturing is concerned. I mean, we've been discussing this shortage for the past, it seems like, months and months and months. It's projected to continue into next year. Now they're saying that manufacturing might continue to slow down on that effort as well. Big levels, though, over here on the daily chart for MU, guys.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to be talking about the shortage for a very, it's just going to take a while. But you've already broken through one big level, and that's going to be this like 73, 74 area. But we are approaching 69. Yeah, it's not a thing. It just happens to be the latest. If you look at the consolidation to the top, which is that's always a good level to look at. That's 69 up to that aforementioned 74, and then you had triple tops at like 95, 96, right? So if this thing gets through that 69, I'm not saying that happens today. Actually, I kind of don't really think it's that likely that it gets to 69 today, or breaks 69 today, I should say. That's where that last line of support would come in. And if you like a Micron and it breaks that, that's when you start looking for like hunting for deals. And then you had a very, very clean trend. Well, if you draw a trend line, you're going to see a nice little clean trend down here that's probably going to give you something like a 79 to 80 over the 50 period. Right around there is going to be your resistance on the day. I don't think we have any chance of getting there. To me, it's that 69 level that stands out. I kind of prefer to short pops, especially when the volume is low, and Micron isn't usually a very good day trading stock, so I don't like breakdowns in Micron. So if I do catch one, if I do catch a pop, like you're basically looking at yesterday's lows. And I was just looking at 73, 75 there, guys. So Micron under a little bit of pressure, down that 3%. I think they're a ways away from the real support level at 69. It seems unlikely we get there today.
Yeah, I don't. It'd be nice if it gets it because I want to go short. The reason why I was looking at the notes, the sticky note from yesterday, is because I remember Morgan Stanley yesterday had a couple plays. They upgraded Folk C. We took a $3, $4 winner on that, or whatever it was early. Wound up losing on the trade because it came right back in afterwards. And then they also downgraded Virgin yesterday, right? And so you see right off the open yesterday we were short Virgin Galactic, then shorted again. Cashed out and then cashed out for about $2 there, a little bit more on that. So we only went short on Virgin Galactic on a downgrade. Now each stock is going to trade differently. I mean, we're not going to think that Micron's going to trade very similar to that one. But look at Folk C yesterday as well. Hopefully, I don't know if my trades will be here on that one. If they will, you'll be able to see what we were talking about. We took, yeah, here it is. So we took the long early, 22. It goes up to 25. So there's your $3 there. We only took like about $1.50, averaged it, and then lost it all and wound up a little bit negative on that stock yesterday. But what I'm getting at here is look what happens off the open. You get a little bit of a spike up here on some of that upgrade, and then, you know, it fades out the rest of the day. So I don't know if Micron's going to fade out the rest of the day or not, but if you look here, come on charts, let's go. But if you look here, you'll see it's already been hit pretty bad. I remember trading it when we started to get upgrades in this area, 90, 95, had no idea it was going to stop there. And then since then, it's been a really rough ride for Micron all the way back coming in. So now you're at this multi-day low of 72.50. I mean, the multi-day low is really this 73, 74. So we're already down there. You can see it goes all the way back down to January. So I'm not a fan for sure of Micron, especially when I liked what Brendan said there. They got out their red pen, so another downgrade. I really liked it. I don't want to steal it from Brendan, but hey, who knows? Who knows what we'll wind up doing? I do like that one. Maybe we need to get a graphic, and once our graphics are back, that would be kind of cool with Brendan with like a red pen for downgrades.
I love it, man.
And then I don't know, is it a black or green one? I think it must just be a black for an upgrade. But 72.50 anyways as we go. That's going to be my short there for many reasons on Micron. One of which, of course, is this downgrade, and the other one is just how it looks on the daily chart. So the trend is your friend, and right now on Micron, it's definitely negative.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some, I guess I'm just having flashbacks of school days with too many red pens on homework. Orphazyme, guys. I want to talk about Clover here on the simple angle that along with Orphazyme, Clover shares among the most mentioned once again across multiple social media platforms, stock-related social media platforms, including Reddit's Wall Street Bets and StockTwits again yesterday. But we saw big moves in this name along with Clover today. I mean, there's obviously other catalysts here, but we have to keep in mind this Orphazyme once again today.
We love Orf.
It's Raheem. Raheem is in the building, baby.
He just sneaks in on us like that.
Yes, sir.
Raheem's
Most
gonna be
handsome man. Trader TV Live is now in the building, and he always looks so damn dapper.
Second, man. I thought Brendan was. I don't know. When these two get together, it's always a.
They're a barber's dream, these guys, because their hair is never out of place, and it's always looking super, super sharp. So, congratulations to Raheem and to Brendan for having amazing hair. So, okay. So you want to talk about Orf? Sorry for getting off topic there. I get excited when I see certain things. So.
Or people.
Exactly.
Orf is already starting to Orf all over itself, and yes, I'm probably overusing that, but as long as look, the thing's been in play for 3 days, so it's probably not going to be in play for another week or so. So I'll try to get as much use out of this one as I can. It already broke down right through the pre-market lows. So I was looking at a 650, and if you can't figure it out, like it's weird. We've had these parabolic movers where you get like a 650 top here. You get a break and retrace, and then you put in the lower high at that that same level. So I kind of liked that setup to give me that short off of 650. Would have given you a potential break. Unfortunately, we're already rolling over. So might have to be a little bit more aggressive trading in ORF today. The volume is down pre-market by a lot. That favors a rollover for me here as well. So not really bullish on Orphazyme. If you're looking for one that might have a second, second play or I don't know, second stanza. I don't know. There's like a word for that. Is like Folk actually has a better chance, at least for now. Fulcrum seems like it has a better chance of making a run because it's holding some higher lows in the pre-market here, especially this 1950 level, whereas ORF breaking to the downside. So if I get a chance to short in front of 650, I'll do that on Orphazyme. It does feel like that might have come and gone now.
I was just looking at AMC. There's some talk here on the chat about AMC and whether or not it's dead or not. Who knows what's going to happen? These guys do not own AMC long. Yeah, we don't hold. No. Well, it doesn't matter what we own. We're just talking about day trading right now. And for here, AMC is going to keep bumping up against this 29 level, right? Like 28.50, 29. So we'll see if that can get going here. I don't think it's left for dead yet. I mean, I would have thought that it would have faded out a little bit more, even now into that. We did have earnings on Monday for AMC. It didn't really do much to the stock. It had it going, and then it came all the way back down. So we tried to go there. I mean, Monday was just here, August 10th, right? So, or whatever day is today, August 12th, August 10th, I guess it was Tuesday. So that's the high there, $38. And now you're back down to 31. So I really feel like we got to watch out for this 28.50, 28.75 level here. Whether or not it comes out today on AMC, I can't really appreciate the longs anymore, guys. If we get down here, you can test it, but I wouldn't be battling longs in here. I think you need a break of at least 35 before we look to go long on AMC. That's a new shot there with that box sort of in the middle. I like that one. Yeah, so that's it. So ORF and AMC, we'll keep looking at the chat, and we'll go over some of those names, but we'll throw it back to Brendan now.
All right, we'll bring in Rahim Alani, as previously introduced by the guys. The managing director of OCI Group. It's good to see you, as always.
Good morning.
It is a busy morning, busy time of year, so we're going to have just a little bit of a general discussion on some Canadian opportunities or Canadian listed, primary listing, but maybe dual listed down in the U.S. as well. In general, let's maybe just start things off here with your thoughts on why Canadian companies specifically look for more exposure in the U.S. and how they actually go about doing that and what they actually get out of being listed maybe on the NASDAQ or the NASDAQ
capital markets.
Yeah, capital markets.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's more frequent, it seems, these days that they're doing that.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing an uptick in the number of companies that are looking at that listing opportunity. There's a variety of reasons, and first, thank you to Sean and Neil for the nice shout-outs. Thank you, appreciate that as always. And it's good to see you guys together again. I've missed seeing that dynamic. So.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so there's a number of opportunities and reasons that companies are going to look to dual list. First, from a business development point of view, the fact that you're listed in the States gives you that exposure just to companies and people in general. But the bigger reason is definitely the investor base. There are certain discount brokerages in the U.S. that won't pick up smaller cap Canadian names, so that gives you that right away gives you access to some of these discount brokerages in the U.S. The ability to margin as well is also very big, and just there's a bigger base of traders and investors in the U.S. that can now get access to these names trading on either NASDAQ or NASDAQ capital markets, easier access to funding in some ways. So there's a lot of pros for picking up that dual listing.
When you come on, we quite frequently talk about names that are listed on the CSE here in Canada, the Canadian Securities Exchange. You pointed out an interesting fact to me this morning that Wealthsimple, in fact, has opened their door up a little bit more to some of these listings.
Yeah, that was another interesting thing that actually I didn't know about as well. I had a couple of companies that we know that announced that they got on that platform. So I was speaking with the exchange, and then they told us that they've got now 220 companies that have been added onto the Wealthsimple platform. And again, that's just easier access for investors that want to be able to trade and participate in these names. So again, I think it's a great move for the exchanges and for the companies that are listed there and that are able to get on that platform. But again, it's for those people that want different opportunities and investment choices. And again, being on these different exchanges and platforms allows for that ease of access and trading and liquidity.
Let's talk a little bit about some of those opportunities or advantages of having access to some of those opportunities now. As we've been saying over the past couple of weeks, we're getting into August, we're getting into those summer kind of doldrums for the market. So we're going to, maybe take a little bit of a forecast, a look out into the future and talk a little bit about the possibility, of a fourth wave coming through as far as COVID is concerned in this country, what that would mean possibly some opportunities related to that. But let's start things off actually in the fintech space. You pointed out a really interesting one, and hey, look, it's listed on the CSE. PKK, tell us about that one.
Yeah, Peak I think was an interesting one. The fact that they got their dual listing approval for NASDAQ recently, so they should be trading on that exchange shortly. They did a rollback, but if you look at the stock in the last month, you've gone from $5 to $8, trading around 500,000 shares a day, 500 million market cap, and they're forecasting about $105 million in sales for the year. So trading at 5 times sales, in theory, at a bit of a discount to some of its peer group in the fintech space. But the lending platform focused on the Chinese market. So for small and medium companies in China, they have a platform called Cubular that allows for companies to participate there. So they're going to be doing some interesting things in the Chinese market. They made a number of acquisitions in China. And just recently, one of their platform companies announced yesterday that they're getting the rights to Red Bull in 5 different provinces. And because of their ability to use the Cubular platform, they felt like they've been able to get this Red Bull deal in convenience stores. So, I mean, China, Red Bull could be a good market for them, and just adds more revenue to PKK.
Yeah,
So,
we've seen a lot of negative pressure, obviously, recently around all things China related, it seems,
Right.
but definitely not on that chart. One that has been on our show in the past, Cybin Incorporated. Tell us about them.
Yeah, Cybin just got their U.S. listing, I believe it was just a couple of days ago. I think it was August 5th. And yeah, they're in the mushroom space. They're doing a lot of research. They've got about 13 patents, I believe, that they've applied for. They've got preclinical results. But again, looking at that chart, gearing up for the U.S. listing, you saw the stock move from $1, $2, $3 just last week. I believe it hit $4. They ended up doing a bought deal where they picked up another $34 million in cash at $3.40, and we had talked about this previously. When you see things like a bought deal announced, the stock came off from that $3.94 high, came back into that $3.40 level. Now you've seen a lot more selling pressure here, so it's traded into the $2.25, $3 range just in the last couple of days. So it's an interesting trading opportunity for sure.
Let's, yeah, I can show you guys actually the U.S. listing here. Same symbol, in fact, CYBN, as we said, NASDAQ Capital Markets there. And as you mentioned, August 5th, it looks like the first day of trade for CYBN. South of the border, which is great for them. Okay, let's go to TAAT.
Yeah, so TAT is a name that we thought was interesting because it's in that sort of new space of new products that people are getting into. So it's a tobacco and nicotine-free product, and they brought in a number of executives from Philip Morris. So I just thought that was interesting because Philip Morris knows what they're doing with respect to tobacco. So bringing in guys that know the tobacco space. You look at the stock. It's gotten up into the $6 range, and it's been as low as $2.50 in the last couple of weeks. It's trading around $3.90. So it's an interesting play. 375 million market cap. But again, what's going to be noticeable for us, I think, is when they get their NASDAQ listing, because they've already applied for that, they've announced. So will that change now that they're getting access to the U.S.? Because their biggest client base is in the U.S. They're in over 500 stores in the U.S. They just got their first UK orders. But again, the fact is you walk into a convenience store, you buy a TAT product, maybe now you want to go and participate in the stock, as an example. You can go look, touch, feel the product and look, touch, feel the stock. Another interesting development that they had a few months back was they were invested into by Horizon Fund out of Hong Kong, $6.75 million that came there from one of the principals. And the Horizon Fund is backed by Li Ka-shing. So potentially some deep pockets there behind them.
Yeah, lots of interest, lots of focus lately on blockchain-related, DeFi-related topics. Hive blockchain you had on the list here this morning as well. And then we'll get into DPRO because, hey, they were on the show last week as well.
Yeah, so Hive, they've again got their U.S. listing. They're announcing 200 million run rate of revenue. Obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum, we've talked about that in the past on the cryptos and how they're working. So, Hive's sitting around $4. It's traded between $2.50 and $4, but it's gotten up into $1.5 billion market cap. Trades some good volume, and obviously you look at the chart. You've got the opportunity to trade in the U.S. You've got the opportunity to trade in Canada, and just leveraging off the, it's an aggregate almost for the people that want to be able to invest in cryptos but want to look at a equity play to look at it. So yeah, Hive's. The chart speaks for itself.
Yeah, great opportunity on both sides of the border. And then drones as well. I saw that UAVS active this morning in the pre-market, but DPRO Dragonfly on the show last Thursday, I believe it was.
Okay, so yeah, then I won't get too much into what the company does because you've already heard that. But they should have just gotten their NASDAQ listing just a couple of days ago. trade around $4. They trade between $4 and $9. In the drone space, I think is going to get interesting for a couple of reasons. I saw that they did a deal with Cold Chain to be able to deliver vaccines by drone, looking to scan for heat waves as looking for COVID, potentially heat sensors, and be able to drop EMS services in, being able to map areas. So I think in the new wave of where the world is going, the ability to deliver things by drone and be able to bring that to the table, we thought was, again, somewhat interesting. And the U.S. listing piece was the piece that we thought we'd talk about with you guys today.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a couple of decade-old company, right? It's well established, lots of history in that company. Rahim Alani, Managing Director, OCI Groups, always a pleasure.
Likewise.
Thanks for doing this once again.
Of course.
Guys, it's always interesting this time of year, I think, to take kind of a step back and see some opportunities elsewhere. But thoughts quickly on that announcement. Wealthsimple, kind of opening their door further to CSE listings specifically.
It's an interesting opportunity.
I think it just gives more opportunity for, we've seen what Robinhood can do with some of these smaller stocks. And when you get the retail clients back in there and, trying to, I don't want to say pumping stocks, but I think it just gives more opportunity to trade at low fees. And I think it opens up the door for a lot of us traders here that maybe don't have direct market access and, are looking to trade a little faster, maybe a little bit, fee considerations in some of these trades. So I like it. I think the more we can democratize trading, the better it's going to be for everybody, as long as everybody understands, the rules. Now in Canada, we don't have pay for order flow or anything like that, so it's going to be a little bit different. But I think any change at this point is a good one. Just understand all the rules and make sure that you're getting a good fill.
And as like Rahim mentioned, there's definitely symbols that are worth looking at on the CSE. That's why we bring Rahim in here. Some dual listed, of course, but there's opportunities out there, sort of beyond, and we all know this. The Nasdaq New York and formerly the Amex.
The CSE is a little bit different. It's not like the OTC markets where they get a lot of stocks that go backwards into their market, which do a lot of volume. There's so many junior companies. That's why we have Rahim on, and thanks again for everything that he's been giving you guys as well, and us. But there's so many junior companies here in Canada that's where they list. They list on the Venture, they list on the CSE, and then they start to get going, right? MindMed as well came out on the NEO exchange. So there's a lot happening, and now uplisted obviously to NASDAQ. So that's why you got to pay attention to some of these names that Rahim comes with, and why you need to be on the CSE. And if you're not, maybe you want to look for Wealthsimple. And again, we don't have any affiliate with any of these. It's just
no skin in that game.
We want to give you guys good execution and just and thanks for bringing this up and give you an opportunity to trade with the best platform and control your fees. So I like that idea, and thanks Brendan for once again another great segment.
All right, let's, speaking of trading, talk about what we're going to trade, in fact, today. Guys, if you are still looking for the morning note, that is the link where you will find it. All you need is an email address, and you can get our watch list every single day, absolutely free to you before we come on at 8:30. Let's jump into what is on that list this morning. NEO, the first one, guys. Big time numbers right across the board, specifically on the revenue side of things. We'll talk about the per share numbers kind of in line. Deliveries, though, a big bump as well, 112% year over year to the upside for deliveries specifically.
We did have that print where they were third out of the three, I guess the big three Chinese EV makers on the recent monthly delivery numbers, and I think there's a little bit of a, I don't know, it's a mixed bag how the market's taking this one, because overall, you do have that good print when it comes to earnings. One thing I will point out here, and this is sort of going to stand out as obvious on NEO, maybe zoomed in too much on the 15-minute chart here, guys, but the last three sessions, look at what's happened every time it's trying to either hold above 45, right at 9:30, pop, fail. And then you had yesterday, right at 9:30, pop, fail through 45. Now we're moving up on earnings into that 45 level. So to say that there's some kind of hesitancy or resistance up around some of these prices, and it's been getting sold off in the mornings at 9:30. But, it did sandwich in that day when things looked relatively weak. There was a bit of a break at that price. So I kind of lean into this 45, saying my first instinct is fail break, which I maybe should have done here in Clover. But if there is a pop through 45 that retraces, I'm going to want to be on the south side of that in the 75 to 80 range. Just the way that this feels to me, it's like Now, it's done it a couple times. It's not the volume isn't really that exciting here in NEO just yet, and maybe that means we are looking for a dip off of that support at 43, 43 and a half or something like that. But that 45 is sort of standing out. It's still trying to break, just clinging back and forth around that 50-period moving average. Like it's NEO on earnings, you would expect to be breaking into a new range, not just holding the middle here. So it feels like a trap, to borrow a line from Admiral Akbar there. It feels like a bit of a trap. My first look will be 45, a bit of a fail break kind of idea here on NIO. If this thing starts taking out like 46, 47, then you know the jailbreak is on for sure.
I mean, they delivered top end of their guidance, 112% increase year over year. Revenue also up 145%. So yeah, I'm surprised we're only doing 600,000 shares so far today. So that's a little bit of a surprise to me here for NIO, but it's not doing too much on the daily. So was expecting it to break one way or the other. So unlike, and we're going to get to Open Door and Clover in a minute, but unlike those names, this stock just kind of went to sleep on us. Oh no. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so my 1 minute chart not working. So
yours are cursed, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine is my charts are bad. But I was really disappointed with NEO. It should have been a little bit higher than where it is right now. When you beat like the way they did and you guide a little bit higher, I thought that it was deserving of a bigger print than this. So we'll wait to see where it goes, and I'm just going to once again adjust my charts.
Just noticing Baidu here as well to the downside, guys. Some of the Chinese names under pressure. Baidu actually reported as well. They were just talking on the conference call about robo-taxis. So you remember going back a month or two ago, Baidu specifically announced plans to have robo-taxis in operation. I think it was by the end of this year. I'll double check. But they were talking about by 2025 on the conference call, a robo-taxi service will be cheaper than human drivers by 2025. So ambitious for Baidu, but again, trading in negative territory so far for BIDU. Palantir, Sean, take it away.
Yeah, Palantir, I mean, a big one. Look, Palantir, zero debt. Okay, hold on a second. I got to get this over here. They announced there's zero debt, right, and $2.3 billion in cash. So we like it. We like it a lot. It's up that 9% today. We talked all about why we like that 21, 22 level here on the daily chart. And now, look, this is exactly like, if you just rewind the tape, I mean, sure, I like Palantir. It's not my largest holding by any stretch of the imagination. I literally have, almost 8 times more money in the mega cap tech stocks, literally. But right here, you're going to see it's breaking out. It broke through that 50-period moving average. We really, really like that move. We've been talking about it coiling up here and taking any of these dips. What's up, Rob? You okay over there? 2150 bottoms there coming into play as well. So lots of nice moves here for Palantir as it continues to grow, man. Quarterly revenue up. Peter Thiel's been backing this thing. More deals, more everything, more love for Palantir. So we break through 2450, then we average in close to VWAP. Look, I mean, I would love for this thing to pull back to 2350. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see where it goes from here. I don't think 9% is really enough. It could go even more than this. But remember, Palantir's not that super crazy, sexy play. So a 10% move is pretty nice for this name. I'm super happy about where it's going. I do think that we revisit. I mean, I think now you get it all clear. There's no real warnings. We talked about last time what happened right here. This was their last earnings day where they had a little bit of a different mood coming in, right? It was 6 or 7 straight negative days. Then the earnings came out. People absolutely hammered it down to $16, and then it closed that day at 20. So I'm really super excited about Palantir. I think that if we get a similar move to what happened on its last earnings day, then you may visit this $26 today. So if you're only at 24, and I think we may visit 26, that means we definitely like this break as well, 24.60 to the upside. I'm not selling this thing until we get at least back down here, man, 23 and change. So I'm dying on the Palantir sword today. It's going to be a little different with Open Door and Clover, but I do like Palantir as long as the market holds up, which it's not doing, by the way. The market's going to the downside, so that's not going to help any longs. But for now, I'm a big supporter of Palantir, not forever, but we'll see where it goes. But up 9%, I'm pretty happy with it.
I'll give up Clover pretty cool. I mean, soon, because it's already pulling back to 75, and I kind of said, like, you guys were talking in the chat. I was looking at that 10. I actually shorted it on that 10 level, and then the second time through, I actually let Clover break the first time, and then got it the second time through, and then I should have waited the third time on 10. For Palantir, for me, a close above 23.30 is going to be fantastic. So that's what I'm eyeballing to continue this bullish run. It'll probably get you to like that 27.28 in a few weeks or a few days, depending on how this market goes. But that's the big one for me. I don't think we're I'm not shooting dip buy on this. 10% is a good move, and especially considering you have a flat day in the market today. So actually, we just turn a little bit negative. Like, it just wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a scalp trade to the short side. Ideally, there might be better plays for that 930 pop idea than Palantir. But it's on the radar for that, if only because it's up that 9%. Like, if it pushes into 24.50, maybe at the open 9.30, that could be a bit of a play. Looks like Clover's trying to bounce at 9.75, 9.75. If that can hold, I'll definitely take some out at that $10 level again. But Palantir could be a 9.30 rollover. If it does see 23.30 on a dip buy somehow, then I'd be willing to do that. But that's $1 away, so throw that out.
So the consumer price index that we got yesterday, CPI number, kind of in line with expectations on the consumer side. Producer price number out this morning. I was just reading ex-food, so excluding food prices specifically, was actually up 1% versus 0.5 expected. So a little bit negative on that side of things, which has brought us back to exactly flat. Let's bring in Arun here and have a look at the overall market, get his take on what to expect today. They like the CPI number, not so much for the PPI number, Arun.
Yeah, when the market's this thin, it doesn't take a whole lot to move a market. All it has to be is one person with large enough size, right? Here's the market you're dealing with. It's summertime trading, so expect lower volumes. The ranges are tighter. The only concern I have with markets like this, apart from the fact that they're tough to trade, is the downside is wide open. So anytime I take a long, I just want to make sure, I really want to make sure that there's no exposure or there's enough evidence that the long is supported if I decide to go to the long side, if I find a trade. Because in a market like this, if the selling comes in, it can get very aggressive very quickly because there's no one supporting it down below past a certain point. In this case, I'm thinking 43.30. If we get below there, you could actually potentially set up a short side move. And it can get there fairly quickly. We saw that with the CPI move yesterday, where it got to the upside in seven points in just over 2,000 contracts. Which isn't a whole lot, by the way. So the market's thin. So just be careful if you decide to trade. Me personally, I've made one trade in 3 days. So there hasn't been a whole lot of trading for me. If you do decide to trade, just be aware that the downside is kind of open. So if you do decide to go to the long side, just be aware of that. It's got to be in the back of your head. Apart from that, nothing really, right? 44.50 seems to be where we want to crawl towards. So if we do get to that price point, that'll probably be the next resistance level, given that it's a round number. We've passed 40s, 50 and 100 seems to be a round number. So 50 being the next one up, that'll probably be the next target if this market decides to keep on going up. And of course, if we get below 44.30, you might have a setup on the short side, at which point I would favor shorts versus longs just because of how quiet it is. But again, it does have to set up. And for me, I think below 44.30 would be that setup.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check in again tomorrow morning. Let's continue along with what is moving in the pre-market, guys. Clover Health, by far the volume leader at this point, 15 million shares already. Just got a pretty hard rejection off of $10, though, but much better than expected results right across the board for Clover, guys.
I try to get my mic back on.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it was too hard of a rejection there off 10. We bounced to about 970 there or so. I took more shares there at that moving average. I mean, a little bit above it, of course, at 980, 981 there. So we went long through 10, then we averaged in there on that number. Look, Clover is going to be a monster stock at some point, I believe, anyways. Revenues 412 versus 205. So they've beat there. They're actually, starting to show some revenue numbers, which is nice. Obviously they're off of a recent SPAC, so we know all about Clover. They were down as low as 650 or so, I believe, anyways, on a daily chart. Yeah, that was back in May, down here 660, 650. But we've already baselined, it looks like, down here at $7 or $8. So when we come in today and get this nice little report, it looks like we're going to go above 10, and that's why right now I'm holding this thing above 10. So, well, below 10, but it's right there right now. So we have that spot. I'm actually thinking that Clover can get to 15 or 16 in the next couple of days. And the reason why is it's really big right now on a lot of the boards. So I think that if you do get Reddit pumping it a little bit and some of these other stock twits, things like that, talking a little bit more about Clover Health there, I think there is a good opportunity. And then not only that, but if I just call up trade ideas here, we've talked about Clover. I'm going to find out where we are as far as a short is concerned here, the short percentage on Clover. So we'll call this up right now. I'll get it for you. You can also go to FinViz and things like that. But we do get this sponsored here. So let's go here. Hold on a second. CLOV. We'll just check it out.
22
Well,
on
it
Finviz.
doesn't. Look, I call up Trade Ideas. Doesn't have it. So
Finviz has 22.5,
Right,
but
so-
I mean, look, these are all different.
that's the
They're
point.
just estimates. But look, if somebody has them at over 20%, then you know it's legitimate. And that's part of the reason why. Like, I mean, the 15 target, it's. If we sustain this breakthrough 10 today, right, and you actually get to that 50 period, that's the next level of resistance. And there might be a weak one at 1250 here, but outside of that, like, if it wasn't this 10 level, when I look back to outside of halts where I would have been looking to short this thing, it is up at 13 or 1250 to 13 and then 15, and that's going to stand out for just about everybody. So, it's trying to gear up to go. We've seen this one in the past. This will be like probably more than one shot I'm willing to take on the long side of this. I could have had that scalp trade to the short, but if it fails here and we get back below that 3/4, you got to come hunting for that $9 price, or at least 9 to a 9/4 on a bit of a dip buy as well. Like, I want to give this one a chance to go because that's a significant 10 level, and if it shakes people out and then goes again, sometimes that's the stronger move. So you want to be lined up for that one in Clover, finally getting off the schneid here today.
The next one, guys, another one with a really nice report as well. Was a loss, 24 cents per share in the quarter versus 34 cents per share expected. Revenue 1.1 billion for the first time, and 1.09 billion was expected on the revenue side. So, I mean, this is an actual company with actual revenue as well.
I like how we have to say like actual companies, actual
cool,
revenues
man.
now because there's so many stocks that don't participate in that. So look, it's already up 15% now. It was up 17% at one point there. We talked about this yesterday that we liked it on the daily chart. So and it did that exact move. So we came all the way back in, and then you baseline down here again. Looks a lot like Clover. Then you get ding all the way to the upside. So we'll see where it goes now heading into today because we still have that $18 staring us in the face. I think that's going to be a spot. And we did put that here on our sticky note here today. That's a little, you can almost see that there now. We did put it, so you can look it up at Trader TV Sean. But I was looking at this $18 level here as a possible resistance spot. So although we're long right now at 17, I want to play some of the momentum here coming through. So I still think that we can look at this 18. Not only was it a top yesterday, but we just showed you it was a top the last couple weeks, I guess, on the daily chart. So I think that that's going to be a spot where I'd like to take some out. And then if we do start rocking and rolling up to 18 and we get a lot of momentum, I'll take a little bit out heading up there. And then we have to take a little bit busting through it as well. So we'll see if Open Door can get going again. I said yesterday at the 3 o'clock show that real estate's been pretty hot. They're showing that today. 1.19 billion revenue. I mean, when you have that kind of revenue, you know you're doing something right. So I'm really super happy with Open Door. Not happy with this position right now. We are long at 17.13, so it is against us about 20 cents. So we'll wait to see where it goes, but I like it, and we're defending these bottoms. I'm going to get out if we break 16.50, though. I don't want to be in this name if it is going to go the other way. So we may get wicked out here off the open. I'm going to get out at 16.50, try short, and then we'll play back and forth with it over and over again.
Yeah, this will be one and done for me, but I only had 17 and 18 written down as round numbers, and it already broke 17. Sean just went over the chart, so I'm not going to bother with it. If it takes out the pre-market low, I'm going to dip out of this one, maybe give it an extra 5 or 10 cents at best at the open. But I want to get to HPI very, very quickly here because someone said, yeah, HPI is on the move again. But take a look at the last few sessions. Look at those higher lows get put in, and then, lower highs. So you're forming a bit of a wedge here, but bam, 16, 15.50. And then again, here in the pre-market, making another run to the upside. So HPI, the volume is not nearly as big, not yet anyways, I should say, but there is this spike happening on HPI that is worth noting. I'm watching this one because it just made that move in to that 15.50 level, so you have obvious levels of resistance to the upside that we just showed you. This one could set up. This stock is capable of halting, guys, so be very, very cautious at the open. But AHPI is sort of set up to be a runner, especially with the consolidation above the previous pre-market high. Might make a run at those tops that we just showed you on the 15-minute chart.
We were into some of the chip makers a little bit early on this morning. We'll talk about Micron again. If you missed it, Morgan Stanley with the downgrade on Micron today. I wanted to mention, though, DoorDash on the list today. Not doing anything in the pre-market, but worth watching. There was reports out aftermarket yesterday. They were apparently in talks with Instacart about a possible $40 to $50 billion deal to combine with Instacart. Apparently, those talks have deteriorated and nothing really came of it, but heads up on DoorDash. Micron, guys, downgrade from, was it overweight or equal weight? Yeah, overweight to equal weight from Morgan Stanley today, talking about production slowdowns to come for MU.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about that. I did want to interrupt for a very special announcement. It is my daughter's 7th birthday today, and she's already at Denny's right now because, you know, you get that grand slam. And this is apparently is a birthday cake milkshake. So 9 a.m., crushing a birthday cake milkshake, and she has her nails done here and everything. So a big happy birthday to you. 7th birthday today, so we'll have to be going out for dinner. We're gonna have to be doing a lot of different things with that as well. But I mean, like, come on. You know, thank God she gets her mother's looks because otherwise she'd be in big trouble.
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, exactly.
How come your nails aren't done?
My toenails are done.
That's what I was about to say, because anyone, if you have a daughter, you guys know this, right? Like, you do the toenails because you got to go to work. But happy birthday, Gia.
Yeah.
That milkshake looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm looking at my finished coffee and wishing there was a milkshake refill. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If we get too much sugar on here, we may be jacked up. Okay, so what were we doing? We're doing, and again, thank you so much, guys. All the love there on the chat, all these hearts, everything. I wish I'll try to show this to her, but just right now, I'll show her that. Look at it. Look at all the happy birthdays. Thank you so much, guys, for everything there. It really means a lot to us. Apes, so strong. Yeah. Brendan hates milkshakes. Yeah, no, I don't know. Well, maybe there's going to be a national milkshake day there. Happy birthday, little one. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. You have no idea. I mean, everyone who has a daughter or any kids or maybe a heart would realize that how special, obviously, the young ones are, especially in today's day and age. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. Okay, Micron. So yeah, give all your kids hugs and kisses today, regardless if it's their birthday or not. Micron. Okay, so we talked about space yesterday in Virgin Galactic and how that was. Thank you again for the chat. I mean, I'm really happy. This chat's going crazy, Valeria, right now. Okay, so thank you so much. 7250 there for Micron. We talked about that and why we didn't like what Morgan Stanley had to say today. If they're losing some space there in the DRAM area, then that's not going to be good for them, obviously, as you come through. So we're going to have to wait to see where we go here. Slowdown in memory chip market. Yeah, I mean, a possible equal weight, overdue slowdown here. So they're not saying nice words. And then Micron here on the daily chart already coming in quite a bit. So it's already coming in. Anybody that was debating selling may just do it right now. You're back into this level here. Cluster at 70. So Neil talked about 69 possibly breaking. I'm looking at a 72.50 break. I just don't think that we hold this bottom. I have no reason why it should hold there. It got downgraded. 3% is not nearly enough in my opinion. So I'm looking to go short here on Micron today.
Yeah, I mean, I'll short pops in Micron to be sure. We talked 73.75 is yesterday's bottom, so that'll be my area out to 74, so somewhere in that range. It might give you that 730, that 930 pop at the open. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that terribly likely, but on the off chance that it does, the trend is your friend, and you don't want to fight it too hard on Micron. It's not doing much at the open here. That's why I want to stay a little bit further away here on the offer. A lot of times you can go deeper, but because of how thin it is, 5-cent spread, not a lot of volume, if there is any buying, it could really spike up if there's any buying whatsoever on Micron, and then we'll be able to take that short. Clover actually bounced twice now off 75 here, so barcoding above 975, good sign for now in Clover at least.
All right, let's go to Fisker, guys. Big move past couple of days for FSR to the upside. I guess to be expected, possibly. They came out aftermarket raising some capital. They're talking about $600 million in 5-year convertible notes. That was announced again in the aftermarket yesterday, so big move down on that. We're down about 6.5%. However, I mean, this daily chart's still pretty constructive, I would say, overall.
Constructive. I like that one. It's trying to hold up at this 17 level. I almost said 1660 because going back into yesterday's action, this is where it started to run up. And of course, you go the day before on a pullback to 1660. So I kind of look at that as if it breaks 1660 today, like things could get really interesting back into the downside. But it's just an offering. I shouldn't say just an offering, but recently speaking, strong stocks that have been beaten up have managed to rally on offering. So the simple fact that you're getting a tight little cluster here at double support both a couple of days ago into that 1725, and then in the aftermarket 1725. It is sort of set up for a bit of a break at 1730. So, I'll take a light breakout on Fisker, just take a quick shot at it. I don't know that I'm saying that the sky is falling unless we're beneath that 1660 area. So Fisker, I'll take a shot. There is actually a bit of a bid at 17 even, but I'm going to ignore that for now. I only want this thing if it's breaking to the upside, just figuring 7% to the downside. Like you said, Brennan, is trying to hold that 50 period, and the chart looks like if it's going to bounce, you would think first shot would be here.
Yeah, I don't mind. So FSR, I don't mind it here, and I've actually put it on the watch list right now. I don't think the fact that it's convertible is what sucks and what brings the stock down. But all they're really doing is raising. Apparently, anyways, according to Henrik Fisker, you can check him out on Twitter, and there's lots of notes about what's happening with Fisker today. But yeah, it's not a good convertible note there because it can get converted into shares, which is not good for shareholders. Dilutes it, but again, it's to build up their line. So they're going to be introducing a few different cars, a few different models. The Ocean apparently still absolutely on track to get going here. So for me, I think this is a gift to be able to buy it down here. I recently just bought it. What didn't get out at 19 and think it's going right back there. So I'm getting ready to locked and loaded here. I'm long. I'm getting ready to go long through 1721. I really, really like it. This bottom of 1690. I also have bids to take it if it does go lower than that, but with only 10 minutes to go, that 1720, guys, 1725 or so, I want to be all over that. So hopefully we can break and then we'll go long. I'm already locked and loaded on that. I don't think this is, I think it's a bad thing for shareholders, down 7%. There's no doubt about that, but look what happened the other day when Morgan Stanley upgraded it. We talked about that. We got in, bang, right back to the upside, and then we resisted around this 20 level. So I'd like to see it back here. And if we get back from 17 back to 20, then I think we're doing pretty good at that point. So let's wait to see if that happens. I'm a buyer of Fisker through 1720, and I really, really do think that you guys should be as well.
All right, we'll stay on the EV train here and talk about Lordstown because they also reported a loss, 108 million or 61 cents per share in Q2. But they announced during the report that they're considering and discussing even with multiple potential partners on manufacturing agreements in one of their plants. So it could be a lease agreement where they lease it out to other manufacturers or they take over some of the manufacturing from other manufacturers. So Ride, it would appear, higher on that news today, guys.
Yeah, some context for Lordstown as well, because I think the other day we were like, Lordstown's at $6, and that was sort of the collective response there. It made a wipeout bottom off of, and you saw that. It's just showing you guys the daily chart there, hanging around that $6, above and below, like every single day for the last week. It's been doing that, and then you get a bit of a wipeout bottom going into this print. It goes to 550. We bounce back to the upside. Now you're holding higher. Sometimes wipeout bottoms are how you start moves, guys, and ultimately. I'm looking at that 6 quarter today and saying if Lordstown takes out 6 quarter, I don't know that I necessarily want to fight it. If it's a fail break there, yeah, maybe I'd revisit the short at $6. But I'm looking at Fisker and Lordstown. Now, I prefer Fisker, so at 9:30, if I'm picking one on the break to the open, I'm probably going to go with Fisker. But Lordstown, for now, looks like it might not challenge that quarter at the open, so you might be able to get that a little bit later on in the session. But like you said, a little bit of a wipeout bottom yesterday. And there's not a heck of a lot of levels other than the current low, and it's been baselining down there anyway. So it's been beaten up, and sometimes it's hard for it to go any further to the downside. And you just got to start thinking about the upside being the only real play. Like usually I like shorting Ride, but I'd probably sit that out until like $7.
We haven't done yet. We haven't actually checked out the imbalance locator, so we'll do that right now. Palantir's on there right now, but we talked about it. We're already long this one right here at 37, so we'll wait to that. And then here's Fisker. Other than Palantir, there's really nothing on here, and that's more like what we want to show you. BAC here's a bid. Fisker's a little small sell. NIO's a small bid. Like these numbers, honestly, man, Brennan called it the other day. I think it was last Friday. He called it like a Hampton Friday or something. I think that this is a Hampton month right now. It seems like volume's just not really here on open, even though we've had big earnings reports. So I don't know what that means, but I would have thought there would have been more volume on some of these names. The NASDAQ imbalance doesn't come out till 9/28, so we can't really. I don't know if Clover or Open Door will be on there, things like that. Some of those other NASDAQ names, Micron that we talked about as well. But for right now, it just seems like it's very, very Deadsville right here in the market. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that there's. I mean, look, no volume could also mean extended moves as well. But again, if we don't have the volume, then we might not get to carry forward in some of these moves anyways.
Before we jump to Brennan, I trimmed some of Clover here. Just it broke that 3/4 mark, so I did say I wanted to dig a little deeper on this one, but I had to trim some off there when it broke VWAP. We did dip by some of the 82s, guys, but I took off like 2/3 of it when we broke 75s. If it gets down to that 9 to 925, that's definitely the support zone for me. So I'd buy in front of it. Brennan, you're going to talk one that I guess I'm in. Conifer, I believe it is, right?
Microcap Insurance Holding Company, CNFR, Conifer. This was earnings as well, so they reported better than expected earnings. This stock barely trades on a given day, so significant volume today after that report yesterday. If you have a look at the daily chart, $4 even is a bit of a wall going back a couple months ago. So we already tested that and failed. It's kind of at pre-market lows right now, but any kind of pop into 4, worth a look for CNFR, guys.
So I just want to address something because Rob is here in the building and so is Lucas. So this is not Gabriel. We know someone named Gabriel, but I don't think this is him. Sean, I know the animation deck isn't working, but I've watched all week and noticed not once has the money been spun. And then after that, you get a lot of people wanting that money spin thing. So hopefully we'll be able to hit that at some point today. And we'll hit it once we make a little bit of money. So hopefully that will be coming through today. And I know that's everyone's favorite. So
hit it whenever you want.
yeah, they can hit it whenever. There we go. I was going to say they can hit it or they can hit it whenever they. That's the thing. When you ask these guys for something, it's bang. It's right here. They're on point. Thank you, Lucas and Rob, for that. So there it is right there. There it is. Yeah, right there. Carry Spice. Spin the money, Rob. And that was Lucas that time. So thank you so much, guys, for continuing to do that and supporting us. We always talk about the production team that we have here is fantastic. So once again, thank you. We wouldn't know what we do
I have
without
20 positions.
you guys. Yeah, I have 3 positions now as well, and they're all not going that well.
1, 2 more. I just got a 5th position here because remember AHPI? It just popped to that 16 level. So I mean, this is a 15-minute chart, guys. It just popped, broke through the high 2 days ago, and then came back in. So I shorted the pullback, which this will probably be the last. I don't know if I can take any more off the open with 4 minutes to go here. But if this takes a fresh high, 16.25, I'm out of AHPI. But a reversal could be pretty steep. We pointed out these levels and said it might test it. And then lo and behold, here we are. Like we knew this was going to be one of these days. Like we said, like there's so much to look at. And yeah, exactly. This is pretty much what's happened here. I found myself already in 5 positions. But I did trim some Clover. And this one's a hard stop on HPI. If it takes out the top, I don't care. If I make top wick on this thing, and it is what it is, and I get wicked out, and then it flushes to 14. You got to be able to live with that. It's a hard stop for me on HPI.
All right, I'm just pointing this out. I'm going to send an issue over for our chart, so we'll see if we can get those fixed for you guys today. Yeah, they keep on freezing a little bit. I think it's because we're clicking them a little bit too fast. Okay, there we go. New position alert. So again, if we'd had that Siren, we'd hit that right now, 927. We are into right now Micron. So Micron does take out that bottom of 72.50. That's the name that, or the number that we liked. I told you that we liked Micron today into this level. We will average it in until about 73 and change. I don't know, maybe a little bit more than that. What time is it? 7:27, 9:27 right now. Let's go to a 3-minute chart real quick. Oh man, what is this level? Yeah, 73.80 or so. So we're going to have to be wrong on this up to here, about 73.80 or so. So I'm willing to give this one about $1 worth of room. So Micron will average in if it comes back to 73. But right now we are short here, and I like this trade. I like this trade a lot. So yeah, that's back and forth here. And people saying, Neil, very disciplined with that Clover. Thing is, we don't know where these things are going once it opens up. It is a very, very risky,
guys. 5 positions.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I have 4 positions. Neil has 5. It's very, very risky heading anything into the open. We don't know where the momentum's going to come from, but right now, bang, we'll hit the money for now as Micron's starting to work for us. Palantir open and everything working. So we just have to wait for Clover to come back, but so far so good here. I do like this Micron short a lot, obviously.
Yeah, that Conifer might not give that pop. I thought it might pop up at the open into like that 380 to 4 area, somewhere in here. For now, it's sliding to the downside, so we'll hang on to that one. Just to go over, I didn't talk about this PBTS, guys, so sorry. This is another one, I think the last name on the watch list, if not like second last. Yeah, the last name on the watch. PowerBridge Technologies. This actually gave a pop right into like almost $2. $2 is a big level on the daily chart, but it already consolidated lower, so I'm already in it. I have taken some out here at 170 because that's where I was starting the position, then waited for it to make its move. If it breaks 170, this thing could be headed to 150 in an absolute hurry. AHPI is the one that I think will resolve itself one way or the other at the open. Like, I'm either getting out of this one and it's halting to the upside, or it'll probably be at like 15, 20, and like 70 cents down from here. So there's no in between. I don't see this thing barcoding here at the open. It's either going to take me out through the top, or we're going to be like 50 cents to $1 in the money right at 9:30. Speaking of 9:30,
yeah, it's coming close.
30
now.
seconds to go. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're getting really, really close now. Micron still down, man. Another 20 pennies. So we'll see how far it can go. We've talked about some levels on Micron where we could go from here. 71.50 or so is not a horrible target for a quick dollar off the open. But right now we're looking at only 20 seconds to go. I'm going to get these orders right. Palantir, I do like this break as well. Oops. This break here, 24.60. We're already long, and we're going to average into most of these trades. Follow us. We'll be talking about these all day. Here goes Micron, man. 50 cents, hopefully in the money soon.
Yeah, already, right at the open, going to get, with seconds to go, 2 and 1. AHPI stopped out through the top, but it did fail. I might get back.
Okay, let's go. We're starting to rock and roll right now. So Micron's starting to open up here. We'll see if it breaks down through 72. There it is, man. We called this one. This was a banger for us. We really, really like Micron here through 72.50. So a good one so far. Palantir just kind of cruising around right here. We do have some lower bids to see if we can get some longs.
Yeah, and right away, that HPI, it failed through the top. So got through the quarters, couldn't get through the 50s, and then immediately comes to the downside. So you've seen me do this before. Like, if it gets stopped and then cannot take out that next quarter level, I'm jamming right back into the short position. So I kind of get a better price here. Remember, I've already taken a hit on AHPI, so that one already moving significantly to the downside. We just got some out at 1580. I'll take some more out in front of 1550. That going well, CNFR going well, but I can tell you that Clover that I hung on to for no good reason. That's not true. Right. I mean, I took off 2/3 of it and said, let's test 9 to 925. Yeah, it's 9 to 925, and we're right here off the open. So sometimes I'm shorting these names, and I did start with a short. For someone saying, why is Neil shorting Clover? I did start with a short. At least I took some off and said 9 to 925 for a bounce. I just got some more shares in there. My average price now 60s. Let's see if we can make a little bit of this back on Clover Health.
I just realized that my orders were not sorted properly. Oh, shoot. Like, there we go. So we just got their big win, man. Big win for Micron. 70, 60, 70 cents in the money right now for Micron. Still tanking to the downside there. We did get some out at 72 even. Now we're tanking lower. Wish we would have got better prints on that one. Here goes Palantir right back to the upside. So we're going to take out that level. Here we go. We're long again, man. We're long through that 60. Let's go, Palantir. 70, 72, 73. Here it goes. Palantir starting to get excited to the upside here. Let's see where we can go from here. We also have Fisker long. Palantir starting to go. So everything making some money right now. Micron, $1 in the money. And here goes Palantir.
Yeah, and AHPI now $1 in the money here, but it's Clover. Remember 9 to 925? It bounces right off the top end of that range. We're able to get some out there at 964. I'm going to try to rinse and repeat. I did hold on to some of those shares from up at 980. That's why it's not the best average price in the world. We'll definitely be happy with the winner, and then jam back into that HPI. This looks like it's rolling over hard. I got it in front of VWAP. I might be sitting in this one for the rest of the day and finding a place to reload on HPI, and it's because of this triple top here. I mean, if this is going to sell off after failing at that 16, after flushing out some shorts like myself, as a matter of fact, yeah, this could be a good one here in HPI. I want to hang on to it as long as I can. Okay,
so right now things are just starting to fall down a little bit here for us. Micron, I mean, the market's falling, right? And I think that that's something that you have to understand here when we watch these markets down big time. We just broke through 15,000 on NASDAQ. So right now, a lot of these NASDAQ names aren't going to work. But look at Micron, guys. This is a 3-minute chart. Let's go over to a 1-minute just so you can see the kind of damage that this stock is doing. Right now, this was my #1 stock today. We talked about it. We still have it, man. This is a big win. We are in the money, $1.34 right now on Micron, and still making moves to the downside. A big win here on Micron. 71, it's still going. 70, it's cracking, man. A big win for Micron right now. We did cash out a little bit here on the upside of Palantir, but it's coming into these levels where maybe we should buy a little bit more near 24, guys.
Yeah, and just zooming back out so you can see on Clover here, it tests again into that 9 to 925 range. Allow it to go a little deeper into that range for the next dip buy, and might have to start taking this out a little more shallow because look at how weak this market is overall. So buying the dips, trying to work out here on Clover. If I catch some in the 30s and catch some in front of the 50s, I'll try to hold some for what is now VWAP, although VWAP, it doesn't really matter that much at the open. That Conifer, I mean, I guess that's going to be the one that's And again, like the shorts are going to work out here partly because of the market. It's bouncing though. Remember, I wanted to short this one on a pop at the open. Well, we were able to get some out in front of 40s for a 25-cent win. Now we're going to look to see if you can get back into those 60s and we can reload that one. So as I get some out of Clover in that mid 30 range, the dip buy was the only way to go, and that's the only successful trade on Clover for me. And HPI, I got to hang on to that one. It's back in the money about $1, and I am looking for a place to get back into it. It's just not giving any kind of a shot here, guys. So remember, it took a hit the first time through, and then it was a failed breakout. And I love failed breaks for shorts at the open. If that happens at 9:30, usually it's gold. This one now sitting $1.40 in the money. It could be down at 14, and if I see 14, I can't look a gift horse in the mouth. I got to take that.
Okay, Palantir, we have a problem because it's coming back down here big time, back down through 24. So this is a name right now that's not working out for us. Palantir, we did get some out, and now here it's fading right back in. So it can't hold this NASDAQ move. We've talked about that. It's still going to the downside. Fisker, though, nicely in the money, man. Bum, up to 17.45. Let's take a little bit off there, but I do have to worry a little bit about Palantir. Now down 50 cents on that one and 50 cents on Open Door as well. So some rockers, movers, and shakers here. What's up, Brendan?
Pretty sleepy in the pre-market, guys, but eBay ripping right out of the gate here, 1.25%. This level right here, where it kind of made a bit of a pivot aftermarket, is 70. So we're just testing 69 here. Decent volume for eBay so far.
And I was just like, eBay is going to be the one that we don't need to look at because that'll be boring. This PBTS.
Yeah, we're smart like that.
I know, man. Like, write off some stocks, and it happens sometimes, guys. This PBTS, I'm going to mess that up so many times. Testing the pre-market highs. And I'm getting into the short. That's the first thing I should say. I'm getting into more shorts, the same price we got before, around this 190. It's a big level at $2, but first things first, it just broke through the pre-market high and rejected it. So I'll take some shares here into the short side of the trade. Now 140 in the money, the HPI. I probably shouldn't have got out twice in front of VWAP, but I've done it. It's kind of come and gone here. You got to live with the consequences of that. CNFR, I wanted to get more shares of. This is me sitting on the offer thinking it's about to pop. This is CNFR not going any further than 360. Now back at the lows. I'll cover some more at 330 and then let it ride. I got into the Fisker on that break too, and now it's just holding flat for me. So the 5 that we got on seem like they're going to be okay for now. It's a CNFR that I really regret that I didn't get more shares on, and Conifer and Clover. I don't know, man. Like, it just... I actually was sitting on the offer in front of 950 here, looking to get some more shares out. It gave you one good bounce. It gave a halfway decent bounce here. If it tests a third time, it's got to be right at that $9 level. So you won't see me add to this unless it's right in front of 9 even. I feel like that could be coming pretty soon.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to get out of about half of our position if this does take out this 23.75 area right here on Palantir. So we just took another average price. Not so good yet, but this kind of a level here, 23. I mean, maybe we can wait for, I don't even want to wait for 23.50. It's just, it's not working out for us right now. That is Palantir, but everything else is rocking and rolling. We've taken out a little bit of Fisker up there at 43. Open Door's battling back, man. We did take a little bit out, but we're still in this name. Open Door on the short side now. Micron still that $1.07. Look at Micron, man, $2 in the money. Kill it, Brendan. What's up?
Loss of 32 cents per share for Blink Charging, guys. Also one that reported aftermarket yesterday. So downside here, you can see monster volume came in there at the open for Blink, down 8, almost 9%.
I don't know. There is a bell
Why am I
ringing.
hearing
That
a
is
bell
true.
ringing?
But we do have the TVs on, so that might be the problem there. Okay, so 17. I mean, we're going to give Open Door back to about this 1705, 1710 area here to see if that one doesn't want to work anymore. But Open Door right now, the only real problem that we have on, because Micron's made a lot of money for us on the short, man. We talked about that with Space yesterday and how much we like that trade. Is this one? We're about to get out right now of Palantir. Looks like they're fading this right back in, man. We went long, and this is gonna be a loser. So Palantir right now, what can we do? We're gonna lose 70 cents here. It's gonna take out 75, and we're gonna get out of this right now. As soon as it takes out 70, we'll be gone. So Palantir right now, we'll flush ourselves down the toilet for that one. And then Clover right now as well. I like this. We just averaged back. It's held 9. Let's see where we go with Clover right now. But yeah, not a great trade here for some of these names so far here today.
Yeah, I mean, Clover, this is put up or shut up because I just got in the last time in front of 9 even. I'm seeing AMC. Like, it's about $1 move to the upside here. It's getting close to pre-market highs. I watched what that PBTS took out 2. I'm out of that one. If it fails back through, I would take PBTS on the south side of 2 even. But AMC, this is still at that 32 level that you still have to break out from. So potential for a bit of a slowdown and a rollover. But I'm more interested in what's going to happen next with Clover here because, you know, this is the third time I've played off that dip buy range, that 9 to 925. First in front, second time when it dipped and broke and then retook it, and then now this is right in front of 9 even. If it takes this level out, I can't fight this one any further. I'm trying to like limit the hit on this, but obviously I'm down on the stock. It's been long since the very top, taking paper cuts and then trying to take profits on it. AHPI didn't halt off the open because, you know, like whatever, that's 1640 all the way down to like 15. I guess it's not 10%, but it got very close to breaking 1450 here. I think if it's gonna pop, I'm going to be looking back to about 1540 to 1560. Oddly enough, where I got out of those shares to try and jump back into this one. I want to be south side of this trade, maybe a little bit longer here. And then one that I did forget about this, by the way, and that's going to be ORF. So Orphazyme, yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. I said I had 5 positions going into the open, and I knew I was going to, you'll miss something, and Orphazyme cracked to the downside here. If it comes back and tests 6, I do like that price area for a bit of a short trade, but I wouldn't carry it too much past that 605.
Okay, so right now we just took Open Door there again on a downward move. We'll see. We're going to give it back to about 1710, like we talked about. We did get flushed there a little bit on our Palantir, but I'm still not done with this name. We're still holding on to a little bit of it. A 24 break, we're going to go on that for sure. So we do like that. I still like it, but it needs to go back through 24, and then we'll try to make all this back for sure if we can. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to, but hopefully we will. And then, by the way, Micron right there out at 71. So that's $1.50 worth of a win there. As we take it back out, as it cracks back through 71, we let this thing go all the way down. We didn't really have any targets. Although now that I look at this, we talked about it into the 70 area. But hey, man, it could have cracked. Neil mentioned that 69. It could have taken that out as well, but we got out anyways for that $1.50 win. So we're really happy with obviously the way this is pairing off for us here. Micron today, a big win for us on that name. So good one. Hey, man. Someone said they tried to short MU with the stop limit. Yeah, I'll look at that question in a minute. But what's up, Brendan?
Looks like earnings as well for this one. Online services. We talked about this one, I feel like, recently. DOCS, though, all-time highs. Might have been yesterday, actually, at all-time highs. But nice move here. 70 up to 79.80 for DOCS.
So my hands in the head were because of Upstart that broke that 172, and it already got to 180 and turned around like a buck here. But just going to the daily chart, just so you can see all the way up at one. Like there's room, even if you crack like 182 here, there's room to like 190 on this bad boy. So Upstart continuing that monster break with another parabolic move to the upside here. I'm looking 182, but I guess, you know, at some point you got to get a little bit more aggressive with this name. But Moderna is the other one that we might have neglected a little bit here. Yeah, look at this rollover at 400. That's insane. It's back to that 380 level. If you're watching, that was a big one on the daily chart. If it catches a pop off of 380, I still think Moderna might be a bit of a fade today. So that's a hard rejection of 400 that you see happen. And then Clover, we said it was put up or shut up. If it gets back into the 30s where I was taking it, just got there now. Can look a gift horse in the mouth, Neil. I said I would take some out in that mid-30 range. If it gets here, I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that in front of VWAP a couple of times, one more time as well in front of 950, and then see if we can hold on to the rest of these because, you know, Clover, it hasn't been great for me. We need to hold that bottom, that 9 to 925. For now, looks good, but just can't seem to break away from it. If you break 950, at least the trend is starting to slow down, if not break, and go back to the upside.
Yeah, so we just took a little bit out there on Open Door. We shorted the 90s there out at 60, 65, 68, 70 there. So we're going to see where it goes, but that's so far so good on Open Door. Although we were long initially and then stopped out in short. Now we'll wait to see. That's just a roller coaster there. I'm still in Clover and holding it, so we'll wait to see where we go there. Nothing out on Clover yet. Fisker did turn around, man. I mean, now it's coming right back down to these levels here. So we're still holding a little bit of this name, but it did break that 1750. Now we can try to find some lower lows here on Fisker. What is this? 1670. I hope that doesn't come into play. The NASDAQ right now not helping anybody out. Hopefully it can battle back, and then we'll go into that name. And then we are getting very close, man. I mean, Palantir did come right back to that 24 area. So we'll see if it can take that out and then continue its march higher. That's going to be Palantir right now. So we're still looking at that name.
Absolutely. And look, a couple of names that are still going here, and I'm not getting too far away from this upstart because it's consolidating up at the high, and we had that 182 that we're looking at. So if it breaks 180, there is that chance. You break 180, you get up to like 182, maybe 182 half and reject. That would be an entry for me if I can catch it. And then Clover was gonna, once again, Clover, I just finished taking some profits in that same prices, 933, 938. I got an offer in front of 950. It's about to test 9 even. Again, the fact that it gave profits here, a deeper pullback, and then was able to get back into that 30 range, I'll take another shot here in front of 9 even, but I want to make sure I get a good price here on Clover. It just keeps on testing, but this is the strongest it's looked on the way down, at least in front of the bottom end of that range, so I got to take the last ditch shot. And then AHPI, I want back into it, but it's like, how far are you going to chase it? Failed breakout, and sometimes the way you see a failed breakout is because I'm stuck in it. Either I had the long or I had the short and watched it snap back in. Thankfully, I was able to get these purple marks here. These are me shorting back again at that 16.19, which we currently have. But it's just holding fort below VWAP. If it breaks 14.50, I'm getting out on that momentum down around 14.20. I still want a chance to be able to get into more shares of this, but if it doesn't let me, it doesn't let me.
Yeah, this 23.60, 23.40 area here. So we did get into Palantir longer here when it broke through 24. So now we got to wait. We just got to wait for Palantir. We'll see where it goes now. I'm willing to hold this one basically until this bottom one more time here, 23.50. So let's see if it can break through 24. Look, we've seen this happen before on Palantir on earnings day. I keep talking about what happened last time. So a big sell-off, but this is not like last time. It was already running at this point. It's 9:45. I do expect this thing to run, but look at the NASDAQ, man. We're still pushing lower. So there's a nice little out at 7 there. We'll see where we go from here on Palantir. Long at 02s. See if it can run, man. This will be a big one for me if it does go, but we're giving it back to 23.50. Hopefully this name can go. Let's go Palantir, and let's go to the big screen now with Miss V.
Hey Sean, Aero Century is a positive mover right now. Stock is up more than 15%. Could you take a look at ACY for us?
ACY, sure, we will definitely look at ACI in a minute. As right now, Open Door, guys, continuing its move to the downside right now. Good trade. We're back to positiveville on open right now, down to 1640. We talked about it giving up that 1650 right there. We averaged into the short against that VWAP, and now we're getting paid off a little bit here on the downside for Open Door. So we're bidding 41s, and did we just get that fill? Yes, we did. So a nice little fill there on Open. So far, so good, man. Really, really happy with some of these trades, and now we're getting going here on Palantir, where we take our biggest position on this 24 break. So we'll see if we can get this one back to positiveville here. Still needs to get going, but a nice little 20-cent win right now on decent amount of shares for Palantir.
Yeah, I've just taken Clover the last time in front of this 9. If it breaks, I'm out. My price is now 9.11. ACY here, just pulling up the daily so you can see. It's already pulled back hardcore off of a failed 30 break, and then we just recently had another one in yesterday's action. We talked about this stock, and then you look at this candle right here. This is like the fail, and then the retrace at 29, and it just failed, broke through that price again. So you kind of have to think about 30 as an obvious barrier, like it's a wall, guys. This is clustering, and it had one halt already. It's clustering, but this is ridiculously low volume. So you want to give it some breath. If it pops to the upside, like I'd let it break 30 if I was shorting it, and then allow it to come back in here, guys, because this is whippy. Unless it halts or makes a monster move, I wouldn't even touch this thing in the middle with a 60-cent spread and light volume. Brendo?
Him and Hers, which is HIMS in New York, this is a pharmaceutical company, up off of earnings. They reported aftermarket. You can see 9 even, though. Decent level here on the daily chart, guys. Rejected there the first time, up 15%, though, after earnings.
All right, so we're just ringing the Reggies, man, on Palantir here as it's coming right back for us. We wanted this play. We talked about breaking through 24. We got a little bit too excited with it early on Palantir. And actually, I just looked at my Twitter, and that's exactly what I said. Take some profits early on this name. But now it's coming right back to 35. So we got a nice little 35-cent winner here on a pound back to the long side. So really, really happy with that one. We've emptied out about half of them now as we're getting right back to this level, 24.50 in a hurry, man, for Palantir. So The only thing we've really stepped on today is Clover. We made a little bit of a mess on that one as it's coming back in. Man, we'd be hella positive if it wasn't for Clover and Fisker here today. But Palantir right now, right back, man. We take back all that damage that we made, and now we're crushing this Palantir long. I hope some of you guys held that. My mistake was getting out at this very bottom one more time. I keep doing that, guys. I'm going to have to work on that strategy a little bit more and not take bottoms out on these stocks. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for the kind words on Micron. As look where the hell that one is now, man. $70. Bang, bang, bang. Wow, Micron, man. We're locked and loaded on that name. And now we're hella positive and making some cash here today, guys. Congratulations, anybody with Micron. And thank you for the kind words there about Micron.
Yeah, I just took out my HPI. I said 440. So he hits that 440 level. I tried to get back in, and I wanted it 1550 or so. I said I was going to take it short or more shares short, where I got out of some of these shares at 1550 to 60. Yeah, it just continues to the downside, but we'll take it. Look, you can catch like $1.80 on this stock after taking a hit on it and go green. I'm going to do that. I'm out of Clover. I said it was going to be the last shot there at that $9 range. So, the dip buy was probably better than if I got a chance to take this all out here. I took 2/3 out at 975 and I held on to some. And if I'd actually just gone ahead and taken it all out and waited for the dips, then I wouldn't be down on the stock, because that's where the move actually extended through. I'll tell you that CNFR, we're still hanging on to this one to the south side. It popped up. My offer is sitting. This is me when I put the order in at 935. This is 368, and it touched off 368, hung around for like a minute or two, and then ran away from it. So no fill up at the top for me. And then my last out was at that bottom anyways at 330. So that could have been a perfect trade if I was more active and removed liquidity, like tried to get it at like 65, 66 instead of waiting for that perfect fill. Now that it's tested once, there's no way I still want that fill. If it breaks through, I'll short it at like 380 or so. But CNFR, man, that was a missed opportunity. Just touched the order and ran away. Should have been on like Boss X or something.
Yeah, we just took a little bit more Clover there. We're going to hold it and see where we go from here. But look at Palantir, man, all the way to 24.48. Like that, if that's not, it's just such a shame that I did that. But whatever, we only got out of half there and then held the rest and then punched this long as well. So, now we're right back to day's high, hopefully on Palantir, and ripping. So good trade there. I still can't believe we dumped this Micron, but we did. It broke 371 there. Thank God we didn't get out earlier on that and move. This was actually a mistake. I meant to cancel this order as it was just crashing right back down. Like I took 30 cents. That makes no sense. But then we do take that $1.50, and then it's all the way now to the downside. And if you're not watching the sticky note, man, you need to, because on Micron right here, it's one of the best ones, man. We talked about it there, the 72.50 break. It's right there on the sticky note. We talked about it early on the show as well. But here we go, right back to positivity on Palantir as it's just continuing to go, man. Right back to these levels and still going. So Palantir, what a great move off the bottom. I can't say enough about that one. Back to 70 now. We're back at that breaking spot one more time. And yes, sir, we're back positive now. Palantir, making dreams happen here with this. So let's keep going on Palantir, up to 70.71 right now.
And ACY, here is that test. It went right to 30. The spread is like 70 pennies on this stock, and it just went right up to 30 again. Couldn't break that 30.50. That'll set up for an entry for me, but I don't want, I'm not hitting the bid on this thing. That's way too crazy. I believe we're going to Brendan.
Another earnings name, guys. Grow Generations, GRWG, getting hit today, 16%. Huge volume coming into this as well. Just popped up a couple of times there on a volume scanner. Big level here, 36.5 for Grow Generations.
Yeah, I actually didn't even, I still own that stock. We did trim that. I mean, I'm not super positive on a lot of the marijuana space right now. We've talked about that over and over again. You can look at Tilray and some of these other names. I'm definitely not in love with that space right now. So Grow Generation Brands probably needs to be trimmed a little bit. I like Scott's Miracle Grow in the space as well. And again, it's just simply a play on more and more legalization. So if you believe that that's about to come through, then I believe, just like here in Canada where you can grow, I don't know what it is, 4 plants per household, something like that, or is it per person? And I think that people need supplies and products for that. So that's where GRWG comes into play. We just trimmed a lot there at that same level. You can see a bunch of outs there at 68 on Palantir. So right there, 1, 2, 3 times. So we are still holding something small. But yeah, we're really happy with that comeback, man, on PLTR all the way back to these levels. If it takes it out again, then maybe we run one more time. We'll try another long through 24.80. If it breaks that one more time, then we'll take another piece long on Palantir. Really happy with this stock today.
Yeah, and ACY, I'm on the offer. I'm not chasing that one. The spread is closing up to 35, closing down to 35 cents. CNFR, that did make the pop. So remember I said I cancel my order and I get aggressive. It tried to bounce off 68, so I did jam some shares at 63 there, and then it failed up at that 380, which we talked about. We thought this would happen at 9:30, the test higher before it fell down. So 380 to 4 still stands out as a bit of a level for me. If it gets up there again, I'll have to take some shares, but of course, I didn't get any here. I'll be covering around the same area that I did before in that 340 range, guys. And then watch out, Moderna. A little bit of a bounce off 377. I say a little bit because it just went $14. But I said if it popped, I thought it could still be a bit of a fade here today. Initially, it popped back in and got to 397 here and then slammed back down. So that's kind of the range I'd like to catch it like 94, 95, 96 on a bit of a turn. Moderna is starting to move for me. I just got into ACY, but remember, a hard stop. Like that 30-50, I'm not letting it go past that range, but might get in some Moderna if it rolls over. I wanted the short to pop. Here's my chance. Brendan.
Earnings yesterday, guys, on Wendy's, but very strong again today. A couple more upgrades to go along with that positive report. It actually did nothing. It gapped up yesterday and then just chopped around, did nothing. But nice look today for WEN.
Wendy's. Hey, I don't mind looking at that name again. What's up to the Baconator family out there? People loving Baconators, apparently. Yeah, the Frosties are nice. They're $1. The Frosties are $1 in Toronto or in Canada right now. So we'll continue to watch that. Open Door right back to the downside now, man. I mean, this is a positive name for us today as well. 16.88. We are now short, so this is 48 cents in the money. Palantir's retesting a little bit, and we just did. I've got something in my eye today. I don't know. Upside here, 24. So there it is. So it comes down to 24.50 again, right back to 61. We got out last time it did this. Now we're going to wait. I mean, I don't mind getting another piece out here around 70, 75. But here it comes. Oh, wow. That came really fast there. So now we're waiting for 24.80 to break to take that to the long side. Now, again, a little bit more long. Not heavy because we've already been burned during that morning sell-off. I cannot believe that wick there. That's unbelievable. But right now it's coming right back upside here. Let's take another piece off of Palantir because we know we're going to go long more through 24.80, so we want to be rewarded a little bit here on Palantir. Still trying to go upside. Open Door now 50 cents in the money, still trying to bust out to that low side. And then we did scalp out a little bit there at 9 after taking an 8.90 bid, but right now this is out against us 60 cents now. Clover, I'm still going to wait to see what happens at $8, man, on this name. I kind of believe in Clover, so let's wait to see.
Yeah, and just got the rollover on mRNA. ACY just took out that 30-50. Like I said, hard stop for me, so I'm out of that one. And into the first rollover at Moderna. I think if it takes a shot at 400, I'll probably look at that one as well. But I wanted it somewhere in this range to try to take out VWAP. If it turns again at 95, that'd be the only way that I want to add to this position. If it rejects that higher price, but 95 has got to be that line in the sand here in mRNA because I want to take 2 shots at it. So here comes that 95. If it rolls, if it rolls over, which means it fails through 95, and here's the break right now, then I want to add to the position. If it holds above this bid a little bit longer, then I got to take it off and wait for 400s, guys.
Oh, hell yes, Palantir. Hell yes. Palantir right now, 24.25. Let's go, man. This is what happens. Like when you believe in a stock, you're going to see this. That's out of half. There's no doubt about that. But then we took triple the shares right there. Then there's that out. So right now you're back in the money. That's a nice little dollar here to the upside on Palantir. So we're definitely happy with the way that one just moved upside there and got some out 91, 92. I trade around those even numbers there. So thank you for spinning that right now. It's not going to be a lot of money on Palantir because we did have that play, but what a great call that was. Able to make that money back. Not that the call was good. It's just that Palantir reverse, like good movement back to the upside there for Palantir. We talked about what it did last earnings report, and there we go again, this one. So yes, sir, Palantir battling back. What a great name that is. And then Clover now holding 9, hopefully holding 9. We'll see if it can hold that and then go back to the upside. So I'm trying to hold out strong here on Clover. We'll see if we can't make a little bit of money back on that name. But there goes Palantir. Let's see what it does at $25, man. Super excited if you can't tell.
Yeah, and there's Moderna trying to roll over again. So we said if it started to fail break, and you see these wicks up, like wick up, slam back down. I mean, look, there's really like candlestick patterns. I mean, I don't really care too much about it. It's about describing what actually happens. The bid does not follow through. It breaks out, and then it comes right back in. That's why I wanted to add to my position. Because we started on this cluster here, I'm definitely going to take some profit if it gets back down to the low 90s. I already have a bid in the mid 80s. And why? Because you got it, Rob. or maybe that was Lucas, because you don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. If it makes a run at 400, I want to have taken some profit out and then made that last stand, like X-Man last stand at that 400 area. So one more that we did not get to, well, I did get to ACY, guys, and then AHPI, I got out too early. It is what it is. I said it would be 1440. This stock is dying. The volume is dying. I thought there'd be a pop that I could short. Obviously, it has not happened here, so we're all flat on AHPI, and I can't seem to find my way back into this one. It's going to be Moderna that's going to be the one that makes or breaks my day, probably. CNFR, I should say, not doing a heck of a lot, but it is starting to go back downside, and I will take some profit out of 40s and then 30s. I wanted to be an adder if it got to 380. Doesn't look like it's going to get there. And then one more for you. We talked about Fulcrum. Fulcrum not exactly going up. So I kind of felt that this had held that the pre-market lows here. It's about 1950. It had a chance to run. It immediately got taken out. I mean, just instantly this was gone at the open. So Fulcrum, it's got no love today.
Okay, so I'm just right now it's still chanting here for Palantir love. So hopefully this can keep going. I just put a tweet out that let's see if we can break 25 right now on PLTR, guys. So hopefully that can go, and then we'll be celebrating even some more damage done here on Palantir. So let's go to the upside here with this name. We like it a lot. It's just a matter of how much do we like it. Now I'm not going to take any more through 25. I think it's already a monster move up that 11 a bit percent. So let's just keep on going here with Palantir now. To the upside. Fisker trying to hold out at that 1650. I don't think it will do it, but that's going to be the kill spot for that one. And I'm just still in awe with this. So we'll keep watching that. Open Door, still that 35 cents in the money, although we did get that nice wick down there at 1630. We're still holding out for more low side action here on Open Door today. So give us a shot there, and we'll see where we go with Open. I still think to the downside here, guys.
I knew there was something I was forgetting, and we're going to get to Brendan for happening now, but Upstart, it didn't get to that 182, so that's why I didn't pay attention to it just yet, but it did break that 180, so it's getting close. I thought there would be a break of 180 and a failure to get to 182. That could be the first potential turn on Upstart. You guys are headed to the big screen. Brendan is there, and it's happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. Pretty red right across the entire board. Overall, though, not big moves. 0.17 there for the S&P, the Dow about the same, 0.18. You can see the NASDAQ leading, tech stocks 0.3, 0.29 for the composite and the 100. If you are in any of those, a heads up, they are the weakest so far. Here in Toronto, 0.6% for the TSX. To the downside, a couple of things we were looking at in the pre-market if you joined us. NEO off earnings, but wow, that was weak right from the opening bell this morning on volume as well, straight through to 42 for NIO. The other one I'll throw up for you was DoorDash. Remember we talked about that DoorDash tie-up or possible tie-up with Instacart. Ended up being not much of anything, right back to where this thing was yesterday. Volume pretty light for DoorDash. Guys, back to you.
I think the thing that stinks is like that would have been a good combination for DoorDash and Instacart. That's the data one. Awesome. That's not even on our board, so good look, guys. The animation, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the program.
I was wondering, like, what are you talking about?
So DoorDash there would have been a great one with Instacart, but the weakness is definitely here, at least today. And look at what this chart was doing. If that deal if that was real, like if they announced that combination, you're probably breaking out at 200, or at least in the next couple of days, breaking out at 200. mRNA, Moderna, I can call it mRNA, whatever. Just to give you an idea what's happened in the last couple of days, this is a big level that it's sitting at, that it's trying to hold. This is the daily chart, but I want to show you the 15-minute chart. And this is one thing that I got to do better of. I like to trade off of higher time frames when you're looking at the more expensive stocks, and sometimes you get yourself into trouble by looking at the 1 minute too much. It slows you down to be able to see, like, this is why we're looking at like that 395. This is why we're looking at that 400 last stand here, guys. And then, this is why I'm taking some more shares. And I did get some out in front of VWAP. Because if it holds above here, and I should zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a bit on Moderna, if it holds above here and starts making some runs before potentially rolling back over, that's a fail break at 930. I mean, if it doesn't break through, I think we're retesting some of those lows, but I want the ability to take and it's not like dollar scalps, but like $2, $3, $4 scalp trades, and then be able to get some better shares here in the high 90s. So yeah, it's going to show like the shares I have now in the money $5, but I'm bidding here at 386, trying to take 10. Like it was going to make or break my day. I might have dug in. I mean, the first short probably was a little bit early, but if it rolled over, I wanted to have a piece because it was consolidating and coming to the downside, and I really didn't want to miss out on that trade. I did leave myself some room to add to it, but I might be in this one all the way down to 375 here, that lower high. And even then, I'm looking for ways to get back into it. So that's Moderna. And the other one, of course, is that Upstart, which I just talked about. Here's 182, so it actually doesn't have any chill. Well, I can show you the daily chart here, guys. This is 182. Has room to 190, guys, to that upside. I thought it might slow down at 182. That hasn't really happened yet. This is a super strong stock. Market's coming down. Upstart's going one way, and it ain't down. So at least I'm not short this thing, that's for sure.
I like it. No chill there on that. So Fisker does come out at that 1650. We'll hold a little small spot, but Fisker obviously doesn't work today. So I thought that this was a good break here of 1720, but does not work. Look at Palantir. Like right now, I'm 10% of this position right now. So we emptied it all out. I mean, it doesn't get any better for me at that 25 level. As far as a reload here is concerned, I'm not sure if we do want to reload this. I mean, that was a big move up. We're up 11% on Palantir, and it's a positive stock for me today. So, hey, even though we have that tick, it's a positive stock, and we'll wait to see now where it goes. Obviously, if we don't have that, then I'd be over the moon here, but we do have it. So nice little rebound backside, and we'll hold now for a 25 break. Maybe it does get ramped up here. Some nice holds at 2460, 2450 there. So maybe Palantir does have some love for that bid. So we'll see if it breaks 25. Then we'll really be celebrating. But right now we'll celebrate with Brendan. What's up, bud?
I noticed this Zentech Bioscience was very active in the pre-market again this morning, but couldn't find any reason for that. You remember this one had a bit of a pop going back a couple of days ago. So we're breaking out now to the upside. 33% going back a week or so ago. We got all the way up here to 560, 575. So decent volume here for XBIO.
Yay, 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 yay. Well, I mean, okay, so I did get some more out of Moderna for a winner, but I was about to show a losing trade here. But that's fine. Like, we try to show winners and losers. I told you guys what my stop was, hard stop on ACY. And at the time, I made the top wick on it. But you have to have an out. This stock is now at 32.50. It was a trap. You better believe it was a trap. This is a thinly traded. Watch it. This stock, the spread is still like 40, 50 cents. So even after the open, it hasn't really calmed down too much. Upstart is just ridiculous, by the way. Probably should have reversed. I don't know. I didn't like the 180 break because of that 182 level. And then here's that CNFR. It's right back at the lows. I'm now holding on to this one for dear life. 284 is where it closed in yesterday's action. So I kind of feel like if it breaks 3, that's a decent enough target for us on CNFR. And then Orphazyme, which orphed all over itself, has continued to orph all over itself. Now short sell restricted. So I don't know where the bottom is going to be on ORF. I've missed the short there. I'm looking for the reload on Moderna. One of the reasons we took some profit out was, like I said, if it hung out up here, and I was looking at the 15-minute chart, if it hangs out up here, I want to look for another reentry. I'm looking for the same thing. I want it to reject the level, come in, I'll short that. As long as we're below 400, that's going to be the game plan. And I'm going to try to stay net short below that 400 level, and then take profits on the way down, hold the core position down to 375, 380 level on mRNA. It's been a good one last couple of days, but there's been some big-time missed opportunities, including, obviously, the 930 rollover. Oh my goodness, Moderna, that would have been gold.
Oh man, like what is a good day could be infinitely better because I mean, we had this 72.50 short on Micron, man, and it's all the way back down to the 69 area. So we did have that short. It's down 8% today. That's an unbelievable move down. Let's take a long through 69.50, but we should still have that short on Micron. But what a great move that was. Look at Opendoor as well, guys, right here. Opendoor, as you can see right now, down 70 cents now in the money, a profitable name for us. We reversed it, man, and this is why you can't be married to certain positions, guys. Like, we reversed that spot. Now we'll see where we go from here. But Opendoor right now, trying to make some moves, even down through 16 now, retracing. We talked, I mean, maybe I can find this tweet that we had out, because I put that out. We talked about Opendoor and where we thought it might go off the open there, coming back in. So I don't know. I think it was on my tweet here about someone asked me, where do we think it's going to go from here on this? And I'll find that for you. But we talked about it right there. Here it is, right here. So This was someone responded to me. Oops, wrong screen. Someone responded to me, Alexis there. I'm long everything right now. I just told him, but I think an exit on early pump on open is probably a good idea, talking about those names on the watch list. So there we go. We did get that out. We did average in. One of my best outs, though. Look at this play. We got out of one more piece. Now we're only holding 3% of Palantir trade. It breaks through 25. On the way back in, we got out because if it wasn't going to hold that 25, then we didn't want to be part of this. So we got out 98s there on the way back in for PLTR. So hey, man, good trade there. Hopefully we'll hold it. I don't know where to get back long. I'm thinking if we can get back into 24.20 or so like that, then maybe we have something. But I'm still nervous about the NASDAQ, and I'm pissed off about Micron. But we are going to go long on MU if it does break through 50. So that's coming very, very close right now. We'll see if it can go. It's down that 8%.
Is it at 69?
Yeah, but Micron, well, it was. Now, but Micron's still a great call. It did, yeah, Neil, touch 69.20 or so there.
So I was just looking at CCL. There's so many things. Remember CCL 24 yesterday in the 3 o'clock show? Look at this. Tries to get up to that 24
short that thing
level.
all yesterday.
Like, give me an absolutely frigging break. I'm going to say it. Or Fulking. Fulk, F-U-L-C-K. Fulcrum. Haven't looked at that in a bit. But anyway, CCL rolls over from that 24. So we were short that all afternoon. I was like, I probably jinxed it by celebrating too early and fist bumping before I even got a single print out. And then here's what it does. So I deserve it. Fair enough. But Micron, I looked at 69. Look, you can go to the daily chart. It's not that 69 is a number that you guys are interested in. It's just that 69 was a level on the daily chart. I can cancel these offers. I don't know. I still actually have my offers in from trying to short the pop if it came in off the pre-market highs in Micron. Now you're down at that 69 level. If it breaks back up, this is the only level I would have defended. We're down here. It didn't get to 69 even, but 69.21, that's sort of splitting hairs. I never got the reload on Moderna, so I still have the 96 short, but I started that one. My average price realistically is actually about like 93, I think 65 or something in that range, guys. So I call it like 5 or 6 in the money, even though you're gonna see like almost 10 bucks in the money. And I think it can go like down to that mid 70s to 380 range, guys. But Micron, I'll dip a little bit, just sit in front of like 69.50 or so and start a long position. But if 69 breaks, I'm out. That was the level I liked that it could get down to for support. And we're pretty much here, so I'll take the first long in Micron for me today. And then just to go back over to Upstart, because this stock flipped. This stock only goes one way. This is like, it's crazy. I'm going at some point. This is nuts, and I am going to try a short position here. I thought maybe it'd be 190, but split the difference between 180 and 190, and you have 185. It's trying to roll over. I have not been in this one today, but what a monster move! Like, you're talking $20 now on Upstart. When it came in the pre-market, this stock was down, right? Looking like it was going to pull back, and absolutely not. So got some Microns at 52s. I'll risk about 50 pennies plus slippage. And then looking for a turn. It's battling here on Upstart right at this 185 level. I'll kind of show you what's happening here on the level 2. We'll just go UPST. It's battling here at 185, so it keeps like ticking down below it, and then the bid just sort of steps up again. I kind of want this to stop, and once I see like this war sort of stop, which it's trying to do here, watch, like the offer doesn't really follow down below 185, that's what I'm looking for. And then once it happens and pushes down to like quarters, I'll try to catch the short trade, and then if I do, your stop is at the high of the day. So that's what I'm looking for here in Upstart. I got the Moderna. You guys are going to Brendan. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, another one looking very similar here. Sesen Bio, SESN, straight to the upside today. They announced some executive changes. It was actually aftermarket, but I mean, this price action into the close yesterday would lead one to believe somebody knew something. But big move up anyways today, 10% for SESN.
Okay, so Palantir right now trying to retest. So a good little level here, trying to retest. $25. Obviously, we think that's a good level, so we'll wait to see where it goes, but that's a good one for us here. Palantir, we're going to retest it. I'm not going to get any out. I do have an order way higher than 25, so if it does want to print me, then great. We'll watch that, but I'm not taking any more longs there. We've already talked about why we like the long on Micron. We didn't get out. It went to 65. We're long at 50, but again, we're going to wait for 69 to break. That was just, I mean, I'm in love with that call earlier, and just can't believe that we did not mean to get out there. We did mean to get out here, and I do wish that we still did have a spot. But Micron right now, we will give some back, obviously, if it does come back down and break the 69.25. So we have to wait for that to happen. Hopefully it doesn't, but if that does come through, that's going to be Micron for you right there, looking like it wants to break out. I have a lot of positions right now, so bear with me. Clover right now, I mean, good out there at 12. We're just massaging this. Now it looks like it's going to still continue back to the downside. Only still up 8%, but not a good trade right now. Fisker, we're holding a small piece here. We dumped everything out basically at the 16.50. That was a negative trade for us as well. And then Open Door right now. I mean, this is a big one. We can hit the sirens for this, but I mean, it just goes. I just showed you some losers, so when we show you a winner, it is what it is. But Micron right now short again, and all the way back to the up, all the way back down to the downside there. 15.92. What was that, Neil?
Hit a flushing down the toilet or something. Like I don't like. There's stocks that are. Like the market is now down 0.2%. Like you watch it going to the downside. Upstart just went down. We're showing a few charts. I don't know. Like, anyways, Micron actually got down to like that quarter again, holding 69s. So there we go. Was that? Oh my God, the little Valley girl.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Upstart wasn't a trap. Actually, was just able to get some out there at 183. So just walk you through what I was looking for on the level. What in the absolute? That was real. What the? I almost said a bad word.
Was it real?
That looked real. Come on, no. That ain't right. See where the circle is? That's where my bid was sitting at 178.33. This wick down goes to 178.40.
Hold on, let me see.
Now that couldn't have done that. Like that's nonsensical if that actually happened. But anyways, Upstart just came to the downside. There's no way it printed that.
I mean, it's showing it on eSignal. At least it went down.
That's
to
BS, man.
178.50
Wow.
maybe.
So I missed it by 15 cents, catching essentially a $7 winner. Like, okay, thank you very much, market. But now we're sitting in the money. If it pops down again, that's a crazy wick. I'll try to get manually out of this one around 178 to 179 if VWAP. But Upstart, you saw the battle waged at 185, and then remember what we were talking about there with the level 2. Like, this is the problem with breakout trades with a stock that has a spread like this. Like, if you take a breakdown at 185, like 2 or 3 times there, you're sort of just waiting for that move to actually follow through. Like, the bid will come down to 80s or 90s, 184.80, 184.90, but the offer just sits there hanging above, and the spread opens up. You want the spread to close with the sellers coming in, and once that happens, so what? Like you get 184.87 in this case is what I was able to get. Like you're not short at 185, maybe 185.15 while it's consolidating. You pay an extra 30 cents, maybe you pay an extra 50 cents, but the momentum has shown you that maybe the buying is stopped. And that's what I looked for there. That's the rollover. I got it. You know what? Somebody bought this one up, and I got to be able to take this one off at 180 here. And maybe this will be too early. I don't know. Like it just kind of feels like it could be too early, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways. That got sopped up here so hard right in front of my bid at 178.30, 3 where I was anyways, and then slammed back to the upside that if there's any battle happening at 180 at that previous price level, like I go back and I'm like, wait a minute, 180 was a level for me. I'm just not going to look a gift horse in the mouth on this one. I'll take the winner and run. On a trade like this, I'm always going VWAP retracement because what did it do? Parabolic, VWAP, parabolic, VWAP. So I'm not going to squabble over $1 there. This is what the Upstart chart looks like. It's pretty strong. I don't know. It's not very weak. So I'll go ahead and take that. It looks really cool on the 15-minute chart there, but obviously that one will be good. But AC, as good as that was, right? Like, remember what happens when you're wrong on a trade like this on ACY, right? Like, if I dig into ACY, none of that matters because I've ruined my entire day. This stock's taken out the high of the day now, so you have to have an out. This is the other side of these trades, right? Like if you don't have an out on one of these, you get absolutely burned, guys. So as much as Upstart worked and Moderna's working, this is what happens if you get really, really undisciplined going against the trend. Brendo?
Just reading about LifeStance Health, the winner of the worst chart of the day. I'll show you in a sec, but they reported much worse than expected earnings. We're also talking about higher turnover in some of their clinics. So yeah, cut in half pretty much here. We were up in the 20s yesterday. Just bounced off 11 there. You can see a huge washout volume came in right at day lows for LFST in trouble, guys.
Okay, so yeah, good couple talk there. Grow Generation, another name that we haven't looked at today, but Brendan brought that name to us as well earlier on. I just did get out of one more piece, so now I'm holding 1% left of what I had on Palantir. So we just got out there as it breaks through 75, and I just, we've resisted 25 too much. The love affair doesn't have to keep going. So if you don't like the trade, you can just get out of it. So we hold that small piece, and I'm still looking to reload it if we get back down to 24. But what a great bump up for Palantir that was. So no complaints on Palantir today. It's a positive name for us, so we cannot complain on that one. $1 in the money still on open, but I am going to get out if we break above the 1605, 1610 area. So a nice trade here. We're still short 16. Where are we short anyways on open door? 1688. Yeah, so that's that trade right there. 1688 short on open, so we'll see where that goes. Just a quick check in on Ethereum. It's still down today, I believe, anyways. I mean, it's hard to tell if things are up or down on the day just because it's a 24-hour market. But you could see here, it made some moves, 3180 sort of earlier in the morning here, and now just bouncing off 3050. So we'll look to take out 31, maybe a 3120. And we're not trading crypto or anything on the show, but you can look at ETHE over there on the pink sheets, or GBTC, or there's a few other names like Mara, BTB, different things like that, but that's for the crypto space right there. So it looks like Open Door, we're still on this. I'm just double checking. We do have our order to get out, breaking through 1605. We'll get out, there it is. So a nice little win there for Open Door, but not the very bottom, but we'll take that. That's 80s to 05s. That's an 80-cent win right there on Open Door. This is the problem when you request something, the guys go crazy. So there it is again with the money. Thank you for that one. And then we did take out a little piece there. I mean, Micron, we got long at 50s. It ran up right to that spot again. We got 66s out. Now it's coming back down a little bit, so we're still bouncing off near that 69 level there for Micron. So hopefully that one can come through for us. Not sure if it's going to though, guys. Micron 69. That's my out. After we were already short, man, we should have cashed in a lot more than we did, and now we're trying to trade it on a retrace, man. I can't believe on a downgrade we're still down that 8% for Micron. That seems too low for me.
That's a lot, man. It really is. And like this won't age too well. Pizza, you know what isn't on. Every time I see that, you know what's not on that pizza. You guys know what it's all about. Hot sopressata is good on pizza. AHPI, so I got out of this one maybe a little bit too early, and by maybe I mean definitely a bit too early. But here's the problem. Like, I 100% was always going to take some shares out in this cluster of 1440. The mistake was, of course, right here, double tapping out, and then it's like, okay, it was probably too aggressive in getting some shares out there at 1550, but that's pie in my face. This one's going absolutely to the downside. Hey, Jude Fernando, time to reload Moderna. Closer to, you kind of answered the question right there. Closer to 396 is absolutely right. Like, look what's happening. 387, right up to this 393 level. If I reload here, then what happens if it tests 400, right? Like, I got to leave some bullets out there that if we get a move that's closer to that 400, that I don't put myself in this position before. Like, this ended up working out because, and I probably, this out should have been down here at 87. What am I even doing? But I put myself in that position before and it worked out, but you can't double down on that. Like, it's holding a higher low. The trend is still overall to the downside, at least as long as we're not breaking that 400, but I don't want any more unless we're talking 95 to 98. So I'm waiting on Moderna for the reload a little bit higher. Micron might take out that 69, whatever. If that happens, that's where I thought the bounce was gonna be all along. Upstart, it was right to get out, but I should have stuck with my original bid down around VWAP. Could have made an extra $1.50. If this one retests at 185, I mean, look, it's bounced off VWAP and made fresh highs each time. The time that it doesn't is going to be that bigger move. I want to have that bigger move. I don't know if Upstart's the one I want to force it on. Moderna just feels like it might be today a tiny bit weaker than Upstart.
Oh, Moderna might be, yeah. I'm not sure what's happening right now today with Moderna. We are trying to right now, we talked about Fisker. A 1640 break here I think is worth a try. It's just been so negative all the way down, man. And then we did get, me and Neil talk about this. You got to take some profit at some point. So we were able to get some, have some outs at some point. So we did get out there a little bit anyways on this call. So we'll wait to see if it's going to come into play or not. I still like it for an upside move. And 1640 is going to be the breaker 19 for me on that one for Fisker. We already talked about getting out of Open Door, and Palantir tried that 25 one more time and failed. So there is some love there for Palantir at that level, but it just keeps on bouncing off 25. So that's
that
why.
looks like that afternoon show one time. What was it?
Which one?
There was one day where there was a God mode offer on Palantir, and we had to wait 2 days for it to break.
Oh, yeah,
and the
there
break
was
really
something.
good. I
Yeah,
forget the
yeah.
price, but if you guys remember on that 3 o'clock show, we were playing off a level in Palantir all afternoon, and then it was the next day was the monster break. I kind of forget that price level. I'm watching AMD here, but I just heard in my ear it's 10:20. Oh my goodness, we'll come back and talk about AMD, but let's get to Brendan. Time for the small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. We're going to cross our fingers that we can get this right. Past couple of days has been a bit of a mess, but Clover, not quite a small cap, but just barely into mid cap territory. One that I was looking at this morning as well. After that move off of $10 on decent volume, you can see big time volume came in around that area this morning. Could not bounce back above 990 then, and then just got slammed right through that high from the pre-market, 965. Big rejection. So I took 2 shots at that. We're at day lows, basically 850. So 10 all the way down to 850 for Clover. Hey, look, it worked. XERS, another little one. I mean, volume really died off quickly on this one. Gave you a scalp right at the open, though, for XERS. I think that was actually the, CNFR. This one was a bit of a mess this morning. It ended up being a lot thinner, very, very thinly traded stock than I was expecting. So a case of too much too soon. But if you gave it up to 380, 390, some of these levels from aftermarket and then in the pre-market, you would have been fine on that one. But again, volume quickly dying off on that one as well, guys. Back over to you.
So promise we'd look at AMD here. Now, the 1 minute chart is going to be very, very choppy, so I don't even want to pay too much. That the daily chart still has that $775 price that I have to clean up every single day. But AMD here, if you look at the 15, you did have that retracement. We talked about this, and there was a lot of hedging going on with that Xilinx deal. So sometimes you get that price action where they sell off AMD on the deal risk. But it made a hard bottom here, and zoom out a little bit more. It made a hard bottom here above this 104 level, so that's pretty good. I can zoom back in, higher low, trying to put in a higher low. And as long as we don't break a 106.5, and you got to look at it on this time frame, yeah, then we're set up for a pretty solid 108.50 break. Now, if you go $2 stop on that, you really need to believe it's going to 111 to 112. And the problem with the players dwell, but the problem with that is it's this NASDAQ, right? If we don't hold above this 15,000, I don't see how you're in love with, I don't see how I can be in love with a play like that, giving a $2 stop on a breakout. So the way to play that would have to be getting along in front of support as opposed to trying to play the break. So, if we hold about 1,500 here, if we get green on the NASDAQ, that could be an entry point. But I wouldn't be playing the break because the risk to reward in what for now is a kind of a skittish market, that's the word I want to use. Skittish market, the risk reward doesn't work for the breakout because it's a $2 stop. But if you do hold off of these lows of 106.50, that's a little bit better there, guys. So, I don't like the break, unfortunately. I wish I could say I did. The other one that's and the other part of this too is look what's happening over in the space in Micron, right? I sat this one out and back until I'll go to the daily chart, until we got back into this 69 level here. And then here we are. Testing 69. So I got 46 here. We'll risk 50 cents plus a little bit of slippage. But that could break to the downside while the market's trying to make a rebound. So that's what's happening in the chip space. A lot of relative weakness here that we're definitely seeing. Down 8%. If it holds the line, fantastic. But I'm shocked. I really can't believe Micron isn't catching any kind of a bid at the 69 level.
Yeah, I really want to not be very happy about Micron because we still, that's every 250. I should still be short now. Now I'm fighting along. It was absolutely ridiculous. We talked about why we liked that so much. And then all of a sudden, bang, right? We don't have anything anymore on that. So that's too bad. But we did have Micron there into the long side. So whatever. We'll wait to see where it goes now. But Fisker, we did take another bid there. So we'll see where Fisker wants to go now. So Fisker, we did take a 1650 there. 1640. Goes all the way to 1650. I'm going to give it back down to 1620. You break through 1620, then we're going to have a problem there, Fisker. So we are waiting for that one still to come through. That's going to be 1650. So we'll wait for Fisker on that one. Even higher, man. I think we can get back to VWAP. So let's see if we can make a winner on that trade. Palantir looks like it wants to break, and it did. So it breaks through 25. But then again, like we keep talking about, having issues on the upside. So it does go to 25.20 there. We'll see if it can hold that trade. I believe it can. So that's going to be 25.20 there on Fisker, on Palantir. Here it comes. Nicely little move back to the upside, man. We're crushing Palantir today. There's no doubt about that. And here it goes again. Just these longs. It's too bad we have that mark, which is half, and then we tripled up our position there, and now all the way to the upside. We did empty a lot of it out, but there goes Palantir. Yes. I mean, I'm holding this name. Like, unlike Clover, I don't hold any Clover shares. I actually do hold a small amount of Clover. I don't hold any Open Door. And we did step into Fisker the other day at 17 on that Morgan Stanley upgrade. We did talk about that. So right now, Palantir going. It's a big holding for me, so hopefully that can go. We already talked about Micron a little bit. And then Clover, man, I mean, we bought 870. We'll see where it can go now. I want to give this one back down to $8. I still think there's some room to run here, but we could be wrong on that. And now Fisker's trying to make a move. It just touched there, so we'll put some offers out here, get out a little bit on Fisker, because now we're in money 10 cents.
Yeah, and
Which is not much.
This needs to get off the schneid, that MU, because I was just looking at, and someone said in the chat that NVIDIA was looking pretty interesting because it was taking away the strength. It's flat on the session. Whoops, that's Nicola. But NVIDIA barely up on the day, but if you look at the relative strength, this is obvious that you can see here, up that 0.5%. It's trying to break back out. Now, think about split adjusted, right? Like, you remember, we are talking about like an 800 level. That would be that 200 spot. And there's been a couple of failed breaks through there. So I'd be a little bit cautious going overdone here on thinking of how strong this is and waiting for like a 200 break. I think the shot would be if MU gets back to the upside, we're holding 15,000, which is fantastic. NVIDIA's got a solid break at 199. Just remember, it's failed through 200, so you got to scalp some of this out through that, maybe like 199.80s or so, 200 half, like that kind of a range in here. There's a couple of outs in front of that 201 because it has had trouble getting through those prices, and you are still seeing the sell-off go on in Micron. I haven't checked that AMD in a couple of seconds, but that one, I think that's a sleepy one. If you're trading today, Micron's got the moves, and NVIDIA looks like it's a little bit stronger. I'm still in this CNFR. I should show the 1 minute chart here. Yeah, I just made another break towards the low of the day, but this is now twice it's tested 320. So I'm probably going to get more shares out in front of $3 if it continues this move, and I might trail some to about 335, guys. But the stock closed at 284. I still think it has a chance to get down there. And Moderna, this one's still good. But I've been patiently waiting, and I could have been already short more shares, but I'm patiently waiting. The price I want is going to be back up here between 96 and then like 395 and 398. So somewhere in that range I want it to roll over before I dig into some shares again. One more to get to. Yeah, we haven't talked about Fulcrum today. Well, we talked about it, but we haven't traded it. This has made a bit of a bottom. It's very, very sleepy, though it's done 3 million shares. If this breaks up past like this 19, I'm playing the fade on Fulcrum today. Like, I just kind of feel like if it was going to go, it should have gone already. It's holding a higher low and then can't seem to get off the schneid. That's kind of weak to me. I know it does have support down here at 17, or it does have a level down here at 17 that could be support, I should say, but it just doesn't feel super strong to me. If it pops up, I'm wanting to say head and shoulders, knees and toes. Yeah, I wanted to say use those shoulders as a fade. That's up anywhere between 20 to 21. So if there's a $2 pop or a halt to the upside on Fulcrum, I'm likely to go the other way on it.
Okay, yeah, so Micron battling back now. Fisker nicely back upside now, so we'll see where it goes. You got some out there at 58 and 59 right there. So again, decent sized position on off the bottom. Look at the NASDAQ going here, right? So nice trade there. And I mean, today I told you that today would be Palantir Day. I said that over and over again, and here we go, man. Up 13% now and still Rip City on that one. So hopefully it continues to go, man. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day on Palantir, and we have another 50-cent winner on that. So, it's small position, but it's still going. We talked about that. If you remember yesterday when we were talking about Palantir right here, and I said what's going to happen is it's going to beat, and then we're going to be up here. Well, I don't know what else we can do other than call that for you. So right there, that's Palantir to the upside. It looked real nice on the daily, and there it is. So congratulations to that one. Clover, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I was waiting for $8, to be honest with you. That seems like that's been holding. So we'll see if Clover can get back to the upside right now. Our average price is $9.18. Like, it's not that far off right now. So if we can get back to the upside, I think we can have a nice little winner here on CLOV. So that's going to be Clover. And then Micron comes right back from the dead. We did average in there to 69.30. So we took a spot out there. Now let's see if Micron wants to go as the NASDAQ starting to go now as well. So, hey, man, this day is not actually that bad, considering we did have a bad Clover trade there. Open door positive on that today. Look at that out at 16.10 there. So everything going well for us. A lot of big caps and then some of those meme kind of stocks with Open Door and Clover today. Now we just wait on Fisker as it's starting to go back to the upside. Big wins all abound today on some of these names and some big losers. It's been a fun day. We told you that would be what would happen here today. Go Fisker, right back to the upside. What's up, B?
Nobi 4, another one just popping up here. KNBE looks like in the software space as well, off earnings 30% here, day highs, guys. This thing started at 21. We're at 27.5 today for KNBE.
Add that one to your list. Always do that. When Brendan mentions a name, you want to have it on your list. But when NIO reports earnings, you never want to get too far away from it, guys. So look at this bottom that it put in, 41.50. Yeah, that's the latest pullback into that little top here that we had at 47. And then it dips hard, bounces off of it. Look, if it breaks back here, and this is like 42, I mean, I have 42.50, but I mean, you can call it like 60, 65, whatever. If it breaks back to the upside, past, let's call it 60. I'll probably put a stop there. I'm going to go long on NIO. That's too hard of a bottom that if it takes this out and we continue this rally to the upside in the NASDAQ, I mean, give me a break. NIO's probably going to get you back to like 43, 43 half easy. So add NIO to my list. I haven't traded it once today. But it's definitely on the radar here. This is what I meant by saying call it 42.60 because the 50 is too easy of a number. On the way down, 60 was more resistance. Brendan again?
How dare I forget about Miss V? It is 10:30. The morning is flying by, guys. It's 10:30. That means there's only an hour left, Miss V in Europe. What's up?
Hey Brandon, European markets are positive except for Britain is down 0.5%, affected by drop in mining stocks. Insurer Aviva trading in London is up more than 4% after saying it would return at least $5.5 billion to shareholders. Back to you.
Yeah, lots of earnings-related movers, and that is about it, guys. Overall, I just saw the volume for the market about 2.5 times lower than where it should be, even for this time of year.
Yes, sir. And this is the thing. When you talk about, it's August, right? So when you talk about volumes being like this, I mean, I had 5 positions at the open. I've traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stocks. 2 of them are buyouts. So 10 stocks I've traded today.
Yeah.
I had 5 positions off the open, but now it's 10:30. Really, of the movers, TBIO was a buyout, by the way, guys. So if you see that is that my board? No, actually, it's not showing up because that one's not going to show up because we don't want that. Whatever. But see, if you see that IPL show up, I can show you what that stock does. Have you ever see IPL show up here, guys?
It should be. Oh, I'm flat. Yeah.
Come on.
You should get one and take that off.
Yeah, this stock doesn't really move, right? So it's a buyout for $20, cash or stock. Anyways, it's not going to go anywhere. I play spreads on that all day long, guys. It's not very exciting. And then Moderna we're in, CNFR we're in, Micron we're in. At this point, we're pairing it off. I might get into NIO if it makes a breakout, but I'm not just going to jump in on consolidation. I want it to be with the momentum. Like, I want this thing to actually start going. So you take your trades off the open. So 5 stocks at the open, 10 stocks in total that have been movers, and now I'm into 3, and I might get into NIO, I might not. I'm not chasing Upstart, but that's another one that's on my radar. I'll probably go back to this one at some point. I did think that if it popped back up here off of VWAP, I'd play it off the 180, like this 186 top, maybe 184 half to 185, where we had it the first time for the rollover, and that was kind of ugly what it did to me at the bottom there. But anyways, that was a real wick, and I was right below it and didn't get a fill. Upstart still has a chance to make a secondary push because it's held VWAP, but each time, held VWAP and then made a higher high and then broke out, held VWAP and then did not. So it could be turning. I'm not playing the short below 178. I still want to short the pop. Moderna, I got too picky, so, and sometimes there's a lot that happens in the chat, so apologies if I don't give credit to exactly who said this, but someone was like, why aren't you getting into Moderna right now?
Jude, I think.
Was it Jude? Yeah, Jude. Yeah, if I had, and you get it like 394, yeah, you got another like $4 or $5 scalp trade in there for you. I'm kind of holding out because I wanted something closer to like I said, like 95 to 98, where it would fail in that range where it did before, and then slam back down. I got 90. Actually ended up getting like 96.20 there. If I get something like that going, that's what I'm looking for. And speaking of stocks that have made moves, oh my goodness, Tesla 700.
Yeah. Right back, yeah.
That's like, these are real wicks, man. Like, give me a break.
Is what's going. I mean, the Nasdaq is going nuts
look
right
at that
now. Nice little move back. I don't know what spurned this, but Nasdaq right back. So a lot of love for the Nasdaq
This
today.
being
It
green
just
or
keeps
something?
going
Like,
back up. MISV is not in green, but it doesn't matter for today because the NASDAQ, I don't know, we'll see if it can hold it. If it does, great. Who knows? Micron now 12 cents in the money. It did come all the way back. I think we can retrace back up. It's just, I'm a little disappointed that we're still on bottoms because of this move. So when you see the NASDAQ starting to bump here in a name that's big in the, I mean, it's not big in the NASDAQ, but it's a NASDAQ tech name. Micron, I just thought it would be a little bit higher than this. So we do have some more offers to get out of Micron on the upside, like a 69.72 area out. So that's right where we went to last time, roughly right here, 74.75. So we're waiting at 72. So 10 cents more, we'll have a decent win on this one as it's starting to go now to the upside. So good trade here for me. Long 47. Let's just see if it holds. We're still long Palantir. And then Clover's coming back, man. 890. Maybe we'll take another piece off here just because it's been so good on the way back. 860 was the bottom there. Got a little nervous. We did take 75. So now it's back up to 93. So Clover right now, I mean, we're only long at 918. I mean, I keep talking like this is the end of the world here, but it's only a 20-cent hit right now. So, well, 25-cent hit. So let's take a little bit off and celebrate at least this bump back up. And if it wants to go after that, then hallelujah, we'll still have some on. But right now, Clover to the upside, it looks like.
Hallelujah. I can't sing, otherwise, whatever, man. It's I always have music on my mind. I'm like a musical at heart, even though I stink. NAOV, yeah, bit of a miss. Look, 24 million in volume, 26% to the upside. But like I said, there was a lot of things to watch today. So this is a bit of a runner. And you guys, this is another reason why we always say it, and it's absolutely true. This is the best community out there. One of the reasons we want it to grow. And it's like a trading floor. We've been on trading floors for how many years? 20 years now? Close to 20 years at least. I'm old. But one of the advantages is you'll never catch everything, you'll never see everything. But if you have like other traders that are like-minded, you can learn from their mistakes. You can have hey, this stock is moving, want to have a look at it. So you guys just did that on NAOV, and it's got a great looking daily chart for some setups. One, obviously $3 is going to stand out. We're just turned at 294, and if it breaks, look at those wicks. So it's not just the fact that when it broke to the upside, you have 288 here, you have wicks up to $3, and then you're failing at that price. So you have some upside ranges that you can play off of. You can kind of look at this breakout right now and say, I mean, I was trading this before, but let's ignore that because, come on. It's really this $3 level we want to talk about here. So yeah, fine, I was short at the top here at 3 before, but that's not the reason it looks good. It looks good because the parabolic moved through, recent high, it's consolidating higher, higher, and higher. I think it has a chance to pull back off at $3, but 3 does stand out as a bit of a break. This is the setup that you guys should love. When you see this, like it's just descending, whatever you want to call it, descending triangles, I don't care what it is, but it's putting in great consolidation, just slightly higher, just slightly higher, just slightly higher, and then breaks out right, I mean, you can call it breakout at 250. I would say it's a breakout 265 or a long consolidation off the bottom, but 3 stands out like a sore thumb, not just because I longed into it and then shorted in front of it, guys, but it does stand out on the daily. Brendo?
Nano Vibronics has given us such great opportunities over the past couple of months. They got, this was late in the day yesterday, by the way, about 3-ish yesterday, Australian regulators approving their pain shield. So just an update on NAOV, guys.
Oh, NAOV, NAOV, okay. Yeah, so right now, yeah, we'll look at NAOV. Brendan's been right, man. That's been a good mover for a while now. But what's moving right now, and it's a nice one for me, man, because we're gonna, like now I feel a little bit better. You can see smiling? Because we were sad that we didn't crush Micron as much as we should have because we love that 7250. If you just rewind it to like 840 when we opened the show, we actually started with Micron. It was my #1 idea for today, and it was a short through 7250. So no idea that it was going to go down here. I mean, Neil even mentioned the 69 level, and it wasn't in mocking or anything, but I was like, oh, 69. I don't think we're going to get down there today. And if you look at the daily chart here, it went right into this cluster area. So yeah, if I knew that, obviously we wouldn't have got out. This was, I mean, I'm not going to say this was a mistake because the order was there, but I did try to cancel that one, and instead I wound up canceling orders that I had down here. So no excuse. We did get that 71. We let this one drop all the way down, got that, and then we said, you know what, this retracement is too much, and now we're just crushing it right back on the backside now. So Micron going to be one of my #1, one of my best stocks today. We're only negative on 2 stocks, and it's position pending. So we're negative on Clover today, and we're negative on Fisker. So we're only negative on 2 names today. Open Door is a positive name for us. Palantir, let's just stop talking about that because we've already talked about it. We've been trading a little bit of Ether as well, and that's been pretty good for me, ETHE, but nothing really happening. A couple shorts now and a couple longs. I mean, it's been pretty blah on that one. But Micron right there just tested 70. Let's put an offer near 70 in case that does happen again. Micron with another 40-cent win, 50-cent win now. Let's get one more piece out at 70, then hold the rest and see if we can get back to 70.50 or so.
Well, my silly person was getting into NEO here on that break when it's still consolidating. That NEOV that we just talked about broke $3. So I mean, somebody had that. Obviously, this is my bid. I don't have it. Cancel that. Yeah, that was my bid trying to get that 3. Anyone get that 3 break because it's pretty solid. It goes right to 325. But if it's going to extend, like I said, I mean, you're not really looking at anything till 50s or $4. So that breakout probably has some room to run. And while I was missing that, as mentioned, this is me getting into NIO when it broke that 60 level. And ultimately, if it doesn't break back below like 42.20, I'm probably not covering this. And then if it breaks 20, I'm probably going to try and go long again in front of like the low of the day here on NEO. So I'll probably take a couple of cracks at this. But here we go. We said wait. I waited. And now Moderna is making that move. So here comes that 400. Now it's spiked up here before. I had a fail break at 400 that got to 405. And I'm always looking for the turn to get back in. So you look for that parabolic move, which has just come. And then you look for a bit of a turn. You look for that slowdown in momentum. First level of rejection could be a massive offer at 400, which I don't think we're going to see here. And why is this still on NEO? Which I don't think we're going to see here. I actually have another level 2, so I can see that there isn't a massive level at 400. Nothing like that happening on level 2 here, guys. But you want to see a bit of a turn. Then I want to catch it on the way back in. If I do get shares here on a bit of a turn, I want to catch some out between 92 and 94. And then try and rinse and repeat. I got a couple of bullets in the chamber from Moderna, but this is why I didn't want to short 394, thinking that this could happen. And it looks like it will. And this time of day, you know what? Oh my goodness, I just probably missed an opportunity there. I'll try to get 330. I'll try to get 399s if I can. I don't want to chase it too far here, but if I can catch more shares at 399, we'll go ahead and do that. Just got in. So that's what I kind of was waiting for this entire time. Now you could have scalped 94 down to 90 and then, and then still gotten back in here up at 99. Like that's actually perfectly fine, guys. But I chose to sit it out. If it comes back down to that 92 to 95 range, then we get another good scalp trade on Moderna. So being patient with this one because I know the range can really open up on it. That's my approach here on MRNA. Still want to be net short as long as it's holding that high. You guys are going to Brennan. It's already time for Sector Watch. Wow, that happened fast.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the overall S&P 500. Another one of those days when the board's a little bit deceiving. Looks very red, but only down 0.07% for the overall market. Not huge moves overall right across the entire board, but a few things of note here in the healthcare sector. OGN, almost 8%. COO, 5.5% earnings for both, better than expected. We can flip over here to the tech sector, to the downside once again today. Western Digital, STX here, in the hardware equipment makers of note to the downside specifically. Everything else in this group, little changed. Apple having a nice day. A few people talking about that, 1.1% popping up there. But Micron, 7.5%, AMAT, 4.8%. All of the weakness coming from the semiconductor group. So offsetting some positivity here in software equipment makers as well, worth noting. Down in the consumer discretionary group, we saw a little bit of positivity in some travel names coming back yesterday, not the case today. NCLH, CCL, RCL, Expedia even, all to the downside, 2% to 4+%. So again, offsetting some of the individual names that are positive. Far side of the board here, communication stocks to the downside, both energy and materials among the leaders as well in negative territory. But overall, the market not doing a heck of a lot. 0.07% to the downside, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you, Brennan. And that NEOV now double taps $3.25. I'm watching Moderna here. It's trying to take that high. I got 98s to the short side here, and I'm watching two things at once. But 404.62 on the 400 break early in the morning is where it failed. If it fails to get there again, last bullet will be on the south side of 400. If it comes back in, NAOV, this double tap at 325 is having me think about not waiting until 350. It's a bit of a hard consolidation. It's kind of a random price here. Well, it's not a random price. It's not a random price at 325. That quarters. We do like the quarters. We do like the halves. It's worth noting there are levels at 350 and 400. So I might be having to take this twice if I'm looking for rollover. The volume is slowing down, but it is still pretty good on Nanovibronics there. But that was 1, 2, 3, call it like 4 parabolic moves, with the last one being the biggest. A lot of times it's that biggest parabolic move up that gives you the best opportunity for retracement. You let the sellers come first and then play after that's happened. It looks like that could be the case here in NAOV.
And just a quick little, we just tweeted out that Micron. That was a pretty good trade for us there as well. Look where we got out, man. We just got out 92s there on Micron. We talked about taking some out at that 70 level, so that's exactly what we do there. So we'll ring the register on that one. Micron today, man, if you want to hit that money sign, that might be a good time to do it right about now, or anything for exploding something upside, because that's a good trade for us right there today on Micron, man. Short and then long, playing it like a fiddle right now. Micron, good move on there. So, all right, not much else really. It's 10:46 right now. There's going to be some big earnings coming tomorrow as well. Clover, good thing, man, good thing. We talked about that when it was getting near that $9 mark, that might have been something to get out. We were only out of the money there about 20 or 25 pennies, so we did take some out. We're definitely wrong on Clover today, as we were liking the long. Like, we see, this is why you take out some when it bumps, right? I just thought that this 9 break, we could have gone to VWAP, which is exactly where I'm short. So that could have been, or sorry, where I'm long. So that would have been a trade there to take there for sure if we could have had that. And then Fisker, man, the same thing again. Like, we take that bump up there and then we get out right at these levels, right at this consolidation. So, I mean, sometimes these levels make a lot of sense. And when they do, they also make dollars. So right there, that's a good little play for us on Fisker. Hopefully that can get back up to VWAP, and then we'll hit that again. But I am super excited because we're only 13 minutes away again from one time. It's going to be every single day, right? The memes and movers with Miss V and Trader Prad coming in just 13 minutes. That should be a lot of fun. I hear them getting all set up. We're really excited to have that. And again, congratulations to Prad and congratulations to the Trader TV Live team, because it looks like we did it again. Another fantastic show coming at 11 o'clock, guys, for you. Memes and movers. Trader Prad and Miss V will be in the building.
You're down with Prad and V? Yeah, you know me. And if you don't know that reference, now you know. And NAOV, I talk about prep all the time, so I'm always going to let you know when I make this mistake. When did Brendan first bring up NAOV? I don't know, but it wasn't 5 minutes ago. It was a while ago. You guys were talking about this in the chat a while ago. I didn't check for locates until a minute ago. And this is, I wanted this, I talked about wanting the short. I tried to hit the bid and then realized I didn't have the shortable shares. Now paying 1 cent per share. 1.1 cents per share, I'm able to get Day Trade of the World here, but I didn't do it in time. So I do miss that bit of a rollover. I can't now chase this stock, right? So I'm not going to short it off at 3. If it comes back up and gives me a reprieve, I'll be happy that it did it, but I've certainly missed my opportunity on NAOV, and that was because I didn't pay for those shorts. It only cost a penny. Brendan.
I just saw INO, guys. Inovio Pharmaceuticals, one from way back when, vaccine related, up 10% here. There's barely a red candle. This is a 3-minute chart. There's barely a red candle on this chart. 850 up to 930. There was a headline there suggesting that the CDC recommends, this is going back to early this morning, but the CDC recommending COVID-19 vaccinations for pregnant women. INO specifically, their vaccine was among the, or deemed to be among the most safest for that purpose. So nice bump there for INO today.
So I know it's funny that you bring that up, because the wife and I talking about that recently, and some people don't want to get vaccinated because of the fact that it may affect fertility and things like that. So that's going to be a good look there for INO, and anybody that's
true.
No, and that's the funny part. There's actually been a study out that it's absolutely not true, but I don't want to talk about the vaccine and if people should take it or not. I don't think that's the right thing on this show. We don't talk politics or anything like that, but apparently it has nothing to do with miscarriages or fertility or anything. Now people are going to tweet at us now all these stats about miscarriages, but that's just from the news. But I do like INO for that exact reason. If that's going to be one of the reasons not to get vaccinated, I fully support anybody's decision when it comes to their own health.
Look, man, the stock is up 9%. So like you got it, and look at this chart. We talk about parabolic moves up and not getting in the way of linear. This is a linear, like I know it looks parabolic, but that's a very linear move to the upside. Yeah, I know I'm a bit of a nerd.
A bit?
Okay, fine. But it's true. Like
petit.
My French is actually pretty bad. I know that word and like a couple of others. But here comes this INO, but right into, it's not head and shoulders, but it's pretty close. Like this 950 level, if it gets any further, it would set up for a bit of a short. I got the last ditch effort there when we broke back down below 400 on Moderna. mRNA. So it tested, did not break the high at 404.60, and then broke that back down below 440. So my average price is $3.99. If it breaks that 05s, then we're out. We'll take the $6 hit. If it comes back down, I'll start taking profit around $4 to $6 and then see if we can't hold it. But this INO, about 20 cents away from getting very, very interesting for a bit of a rollover. It already spiked up once and then retraced hard off of these prices. So rinse and repeat. Sometimes history repeats itself, and the easiest thing to do as a trader is join the party.
Yes, a petit peu, just a little bit right there. Okay, so we're cruising, man. We're cruising right now. Palantir 50 cents in the money, Micron 44 cents in the money. Fisker trying to battle back here, and then Clover can go to hell right now. So that name doesn't seem like it wants to come back at all. The world needs more nerds. Yep.
Well, that's always obviously true.
Yep. I love that show, movie, Nerds. Remember there was a Nerds
Great movie.
Great.
I don't know
think
about
they made like 6 or 7 of them or something.
I don't know about making 1,000 of those
Right, that's
movies,
what
but
I
if
was
you've never
wondering
seen
why.
it, I would check it out.
What's up with Nerds there? Very, very funny show and very funny movie there. So, we're excited here to be back, sitting back to each other. I see, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but Miss V's getting all dolled up right here. So she's getting ready to rock and roll. I see you there on the show. And that's going to be a fun one as that's coming to us live. We have a lot of earnings plays coming through as well. Micron, again, it came up to 70, close enough to it. We're out of 60%? No. 70% of what we had there, 20, 40, 60, 70% there, and then because we did reload right there, so that's why it was hard for me to calculate that, but we do have a nice price. You can see the average price right now, 31 cents in the money there for Micron. That's a pretty good one. Clover, Fisker, Micron, Palantir, all being watched out, and then I still like that INO, man, and again, 938, still taking out new levels there. Brendan brought that to us. There's still lots of possibilities for INO to go, so up to $33, $34. I don't think it's going to get there, but these bottoms have been pretty nice on Inovio. So if you do like that pharmaceutical name, I can't blame you. It doesn't look horrible at these levels, guys. That's INO right now. Palantir still the king of the world, man. Still taking out levels and still moving to the upside. So we're really, really happy with Palantir. You guys know that's in my portfolio. So let's go Palantir. My favorite segment, a little bit late today, and it's Money Talks. Let's see how the Canadian dollar is doing. Hopefully it's doing very, very bad.
He kids, obviously. Let's have a look at the Canadian dollar. There it is. I mean, not very, very bad, but it's down 0.09%. Back below 80 cents. I mean, not huge moves right across the board here today. The euro about the same, slightly lower. The British pound 0.3 to the downside. Australia and New Zealand, the ones to get hit the most today, 0.4, 0.6 in negative territory. I want to talk about some cryptos because we've had this pretty impressive move for Bitcoin from 30,000 back to 46 and change. So a bit of a pullback probably needed, although we're getting back towards 44 now. So key areas coming into play for Bitcoin, 44,000, 3,000 again for Ethereum, and Ripple 8.5 to the downside. Guys, back to you.
Ripple to the downside. Yeah. Oh, we can check out, Cardano today, bad. It's down to 170 again, guys. So yesterday we were celebrating it up to 180, 180, 190. Didn't even actually see that 190. Wow. Okay. 189.50. Good play there for Cardano. But as you see, some of these coins there, got hit back down 176. Let's go to today. What's happening. So a nice little downward, not nice, but downward move here. We already broke that 170. So 171. We're at 170 right here. So you got to watch out for Cardano on the low side there. It's not looking too pretty for this one. But again, we bought the last time we bought was $1.05. Something like that live for you on the show. So I'm not getting out of Cardano. I actually don't even mind if it crashes. I want to get more. So that is that. And yeah, today, Brendan just went over it, but crypto's not doing well today for sure. So watch out if you are a holder of any of those. And then, to say that we went long down here is definitely something that we've talked about. I love that trade, $24 long. Now it's at $25.50. Let's go Palantir. It's still going to the upside. And then we still think there's a chance now for Clover. I mean, my average price is $9.11. It was at $9.18. So we get back to VWAP. That's going to be a positive trade for us on Clover. So only one negative stock today that we've closed out. That's Fisker. And then we do have and I'm still holding Fisker, but I don't know if that's going to go or not. It doesn't look like it. So Clover and Fisker, the two negatives. Everything else been pretty cash money for us. It's been a good day today, guys.
And keystroke on ACY. I went to put a stop and then took it out. It did not take out 36, but just jammed right back into, well, not jammed, but got right back into it on this consolidation 34.50. So it's not as good as the 35 short I had previously. Like literally less than 2 minutes ago, but if it takes out 36, I'm out of this one. It spiked up again, another parabolic move up. The stock is not halted. It keeps resisting halt, which is a bit of a psych out, guys. I do feel like if it pulls back, I'm going to have bids in this range, a previous high 33 and then all the way down to VWAP. I guess that's not too hard to figure out that that's what I'm going to be doing because that's what I always do. So I'm going to get those bids out there and locked and loaded. ACY, the first time we had it, hard stop out, keystroke error. I mean, every now and then it's going to happen, but it definitely happened to me up there. Did not mean to get out of it, but I jumped right back in at a worse price, incidentally, at 34.55. But that's where it's consolidated. If it falls down, shooting $1.50, and then shooting for this VWAP area for 31.50, guys. And then a Moderna testing that top again. 405 is my 404.62 is the high, but I'm giving it to that even dollar range. And Micron, man, that was looking. I kind of feel like it was doing its thing, right? It gets up close to VWAP. Now we're testing 69 again. So if it bounces off 69, I will add back into it. This is the only level I liked for the long on Micron. So if it comes down to defend that price again, I will be sitting on the bid. I might wait for it to test a little closer. I mean, it got 609.09. So I might wait for it to test a little bit closer and be willing to catch some on the way back up instead of on the way down.
1999. Yeah, we only have 3 minutes now, and then get ready, guys. You're just going to be transferred right over to the Memes and Movers show. So that's going to be with Miss V and Trader Pratt. We're really super excited for that. So stay tuned. Look, if you haven't checked it out, have a look, see what you think. Memes and Movers coming. And look, there's lots of memes and mover stocks happening today, so it should be very, very good episodes and good shows there. They'll talk all about crypto. I know Pratt has a few ideas that he wants to throw around today. Ms. V's ready to rock and roll right now. That I&O, man, ever since Brendan brought that to us, I mean, again, it's just one of those names that once it starts to get going, it has more to go. Like 11% is not that great on that name. And I mean, it's great on the name, but it can go a lot more, especially with the vaccine talk. I like everything that they're doing there. We just talked about the pregnancy aspect. I think that's a great one. And I think there's more to come with Inovio and that aspect. So thanks, Brendan, for that. And on that note, let's throw it back to Brendan.
Yeah, a couple minutes, guys. We'll have a look at what's coming up. Make sure you come back and join us after Memes and Movers with Trader Pratt and Miss V coming up, as they said, in a couple of minutes here. But come back again at 3 o'clock. We'll take you through to the end of the session. Here comes the earnings, guys, for tonight and tomorrow morning.
I see something a couple in the middle. You already talked about it, both DoorDash and Disney, at least a little bit there, Brendan, but Rocket, a bit of a move. XL Fleet for you there. There's actually, there's some interesting ones here. And SoFi, of course. SoFi making some moves today, actually. So a lot. I thought today was pretty busy. Tomorrow might be almost as good. There were a lot of names to watch, and specifically SoFi. Yeah, when I say making moves on SoFi, it just made a bump 1750 and then all the way back. So this is definitely one to watch. When we come back, no doubt, I think Trader Pratt is going to be looking at SoFi, just given the movement I'm seeing here. And we come back, we're going to look at this one going into the close as well. So lots to still look out for, but you see the vaccine names starting to move around. They're going to be in play. If Moderna takes out 405, if you can't guess that I will sit it out till 420, then you haven't been watching this show for very long, because I like those levels.
Yeah, XL Fleet's going to be a good one. We talked about Disney as well. I mean, if you look at XL here, it's .ny. I mean, why is XL Fleet on the NASDAQ? Like, some of these names are just crazy. But XL, let's go to the daily chart if it loads up here. And look, I mean, not to say anything, but if you look at Clover, you look at Open Door, and you look at some of those names, I'm in XL Fleet, so maybe this is rose-colored glasses again. But this looks like it's doing the same kind of thing where we're barcoding right now between 650 and 750, which is actually, that's a little bit of a big range, because it's only a dollar stock, really. Like from 650 to 750, that a dollar is a nice move. So we'll see if XL Fleet can beat. Then I can sort of see the same thing as Palantir. Remember, the Palantir daily looks like this, and then ding, a video game, bang, right to the upside right there. So if you look at XL again, let's just push back. Oh shoot! See, last stock goes to something different than I was looking at there. Open Door, but that's the same thing we're talking about. XL Fleet, you could get a bing up here to $9. So let's wait to see if that happens. And if that does happen, your boy boys got to exit some of that position because I'm long right here, literally right here at 7. I looked yesterday, 703 or something is my average price for XL Fleet. So hopefully that'll come through. It's past 11 o'clock. So let's throw it over to Miss V. My kids are probably going crazy right now. I wonder if they had this at Denny's or not.
They got this, then.
Thank you, Sean. And again, happy birthday to your daughter. Guys, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you have a good morning so far and have profitable trades. Please make sure you like this video and I will see you at the meme show. Happy National Julian Fries Day, everyone.
So we're just having this discussion. Like, I actually didn't know what these are, so I'm assuming it's just thinly sliced and it's still potato.
That's what I said. Yeah, julienne means thinly sliced fries, but yeah, it's still a potato. I mean, you could have julienne. I mean, it doesn't say potato fries there, so maybe you can have sweet potato fries, something like that. But
you can always have sweet potato fries.
Yep.
They are definitely better. But stick around. You guys know what is coming. Miss Trader Pratt and Miss V and Trader Pratt. It doesn't even matter. You guys are going there. You love it. We love it. We'll probably be around as well. Make some cameo appearances from time to time. Brandon, julienne fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are like just fancy fries.
Yeah. They're kind of like the McDonald's ones. They're super thin. They're julienne fries. I think that's how it goes. All right, Neil, let's pound it out. Thank you for a great show here. And I don't know who's going to throw this or not. Maybe we'll do this after. We'll figure this out. But guys, let's go straight right now over to Memes and Movers with Pratt, Trader Pratt and Miss V. Let's go.
All right. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to Trader Pratt and Malaria. I'm your host, Memes, and this is your host,
Mover.